7 o'clock in St. Louis, you are listening to The Morning After on 101 ESPN and the TMA STL YouTube channel. The program presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with the day off. Little Jackie Papers on the ones and twos, and we welcome you to call in, and maybe you get through Chairman Kurt's filter. Maybe you don't. I don't know. That's Chairman Kurtz. He's got 100% control of Congress, Doug, and if he's going to let him through.
It's a lot of power.
That's up to him. 314-974-0101. Callier and Thompson phone lines. I think if you've listened to the show before, you know the bar is pretty high to get on the air.
Yeah. Not just anybody makes it.
Thank you.
It's not like you can call and just get on the air.
Thank you.
We've put people on the air who didn't even realize they were on the air yet. As soon as they dial the numbers, they're on.
We potted up Biff one time, and he was asleep.
Yeah.
You could hear him snoring.
Uh-huh. So that kind of gives you the illustration of the requirements to get on the air. 314-974-0101. Callier and Thompson sponsor the phone lines. 314-399-9646. That's how you can text in. Air Comfort Service text inbox. Then you've got the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. You open up your YouTube app, you type TMA STL, and the next thing you know, you're in there and you're talking with friends. And Doug, those friends wait for us every morning. And they want to talk it over with us, like Scorsy, Deep Voice Dude, Jake Reynolds, TMA Remote Lamp, and the old Devil's Crotch. Oh. They're in there, and they're talking it over already this morning. And, of course, email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. That's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at DesignAirService.com. Seth Goldcamp, longest-running sponsor on TMA. And, Doug, we just have optimal temperatures here over the next week and change. It's just nothing. This is like California, Southern California. Highs of 83 and then just on Saturday, 80. Sunday, 80. Monday, 81. Tuesday, 80. Wednesday, 78. Thursday, 83. Just settle in.
You'll take it.
Our property value is skyrocketing because they're going to move from the coast to the Great Plains Jewel Crown.
The crown jewel of the Great Plains. I suppose if global warming really continues to click in and our average temperature, were to go up 8 to 10 degrees, you think that would make our property values worth more?
If we can get an ocean nearby.
Well, we might. If it goes up that much, we just might.
I think we're in a good position. So buy up property in the St. Louis metropolitan area, and you'll be sitting on billions.
If we were to become a Sunbelt city,
I think we are.
It could only help.
That's exactly right. That's what we got. That's why this truly is the crown jewel of the Great Plains. Great forecast. If you run into issues with the air conditioning, though, DesignAirService.com. That's Seth Goldcamp and his team, the longest-running sponsor on TMA. Doug's a client. I'm a client. We recommend you become a client as well. And send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Healthcare Evolution is the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour here on the program, and they're online at healthcare-evolution.com. And before we get to the Lifetime Roofing lead, little Jackie Papers went out to that Healthcare Evolution yesterday, and there was a buzz. A buzz.
Really?
Let me tell you.
Doug, this I think is the Lifetime Roofing lead. Don't get me wrong. I want to go up there and I want to fight the Brewers relievers. And I might do that today.
One at a time.
One at a time. But first, this Jackie Papers, there's a buzz about Jackie Papers at Healthcare Evolution. Papers tell them what they don't know.
So I went there for the second hair treatment that they do.
Yeah.
It's kind of a PRP hair treatment where they're strengthening the scalp, Doug.
With injections.
Yeah, so it's a micro needles that they roll onto your head and injections. And I went out there late January, maybe early February to get my first treatment done.
Yeah.
And then went yesterday for my second treatment, along with supplementing that with this shampoo that they give you and this other leave-in serum. And I was like, I feel like my hair is getting better, but I didn't really know. I was like,
But there was a buzz when you came in here a couple weeks ago after that haircut.
The haircut.
The whole room was kind of like, all right, we're all married, but
yeah.
I wonder.
Right.
I wonder what it would be like.
Think about this, young man. And so I was like, I think maybe it's just a good haircut. Maybe I don't know what's going on. And then I went in yesterday and we did some before and after pictures. And
I'm looking at this boy, Logan Taylor of Healthcare Evolution,
send you?
healthcare-evolution.com. This is the picture. If I can share it with the audience, I'll
Yeah, you
pull
can
it
throw
up.
it up on
All right,
YouTube.
Doug, here it is. If you're on YouTube, let me see how the phone looks. So TMAST, can you see it on the YouTube
boy,
camera?
look at that's a lot of. Whoa.
Yeah, that's a large crop circle that you have at the top of your head.
Tap your phone. Dark.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now, this is what was sent to me by Logan Taylor of healthcare-evolution.com yesterday.
Yeah. That's a much more filled in scalp if you're asking me.
Doug, look at
It really
can you
is.
see
Yeah,
and this is
that's pretty amazing.
papers.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. And they do it right here in St. Louis. You don't have to take a trip across the globe. The first treatment took 15, 20 minutes. The one yesterday took 5 minutes. And that's the kind of growth that we're
Oh, is
having.
that right?
Oh, yeah. And the front, it doesn't show up as well on video or picture, but the hair up front is considerably fuller. Like
How
and
many times
thicker.
will you go in for this treatment?
It's 2 a year. 2 treatments a year.
Great.
That's it?
That's it.
I know another guy who's had that done, and he said he's had remarkable results.
Yeah, and that was after one treatment. That was before we even did the hair treatment yesterday. So
Could they save a bald, lopsided head?
after
worth a shot.
talking with Logan,
You guys
at
started
Healthcare
talking about
Evolution-
my head.
Well, we talked about
I feel like I should have counsel there while you're talking about my head.
likely someone who's lost all their hair is probably.
Why are you laughing?
That might be tougher, but if you're in a situation like me,
So I'm out.
where
You're out, Tom.
the writing's on the wall, but you certainly have hair now, like don't wait on it. Go talk to our friends over at Healthcare Evolution and see if this could be a solution for you. We'll go and take a look at your head and see if this is a solution for you. And I can tell you firsthand that through one treatment, we have seen considerable growth and thickening of hair that was already there.
How long does the treatment last when you go?
15 minutes.
And
That's it.
yesterday was 5.
Yesterday was 5 minutes.
Forget about it.
Yesterday was 5 minutes.
I might do this, but I'm done. You're saying I'm doomed.
Well, talk
you're
to
saying I'm a
Logan.
50-foot putt. He's laughing at me. F this guy. I'm out.
Well, that could revolutionize the hair restoration industry.
I would think so.
That's why I told Logan, I said, man, you got something here. You got something here. We were texting on Friday. God bless him. Healthcare-evolution.com. Now, it's not just Jackson's hair, or if you're experiencing hair thinning. I went out there and found out that my slapped hair, Doug, that's shoulder labrum, anterior postmates.
Oh,
Yeah.
Post-it notes?
Yeah, it's
Post-it
food
notes.
delivery.
Right. Has gone away, which, I mean, it was a very small tear. Of course, it's on my body, so what else would it be? And it's gone away. So God bless America. So I'm going to be in the gym getting it more tight and rewarding than ever before.
Oh,
Get myself a landing strip and go get them this summer. So it's healthcare-evolution.com, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour. And Jackson, they're reacting in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, and they are delighted. Looking pretty good, Jackson. That's from Jeremy Hodge. Good night. That is night and day. Congratulations, Jackson. That's from Too Fat to Kayak. And then Scorsese said, is this TMA or a Hans Wyman infomercial? So he didn't enjoy the conversation.
No.
But if you can convert 67% of the audience, why, what a wonderful percentage that is. And then Nate in Tallahassee says, are they going to do anything to get Jackie's beard to come in, or are they head hair only? That's from Nate, and he's in Tallahassee.
I believe it's head hair only, but you know what? I'll take it. That's all I need. Like, it's really crazy. You think about it, you feel like the top of your head, you're like, it feels a little better.
unbelievable.
But
I didn't know this was going on.
The picture, and the thing is,
I just thought you met some wizard at Great Clips in Crestwood.
yeah, and shout out to them, by the way. They can't be left out of this
why
equation.
do we have to shout out Great Clips?
Yeah, YOLO.
Well, just shout out a good haircut. It's all. I don't care where you get it from. Good haircut. But my hair is also longer in that first picture. Like the total hair,
right.
that is longer hair than I have right now, and yet it looks like I have way more hair in the second picture because I do.
God.
And you were already St. Louis' most eligible bachelor.
I agree with
Here
that.
we come now.
Now what?
What's it going to be like this weekend at Tam Ave?
I mean, what can you say? What can you say?
We're 10 minutes in and we're talking about a 20-something's insecurities. That's from the 618.
Dying secure no more. Thank you, Healthcare Evolution.
Congrats on the new rug, Jackson. That's from the TMA Reddit Insider. That is
it
not a rug. That is not
My
a rug.
hair.
Okay.
The hair down there, Doug. Think about it.
I'm not going to.
It's time now for the Lifetime Roofing lead. Unbelievable. I guess Dustin McClendon and Lifetime Roofing would tell you it's got to be VGK. Shocking the world. How much did Flavor Flav's presence play a role in what took place? I mean, I would have taken any bet going. Vegas 4-0 over the Avalanche? No chance. Perhaps one of the most anticipated Game 5s in a conference finals in a decade. Last night in Oklahoma City, I guess you could make a case for that over VGK eliminating Stan Kroenke / Josh Kroenke / his wife, whatever the NFL needs him to do to escape the bylaws, ownership of the Colorado Avalanche and their sweep. I was listening to the Holly Randall podcast, great interview with Madison Ivey as I was driving in this morning, and a surprising ad, but I was really delighted to hear it for City SC in the middle of the interview. So that could be up there for the Lifetime Roofing lead if you wanted to do that. I know you're a big Torts fan, so I figure you're going to go with VGK, though. He only coached 8 regular season games, and now he's taking the Vegas Golden Knights, which have only been in existence since 2017, 2018, to their third Stanley Cup final.
Wow.
So we're talking VGK.
Well, I would have thought that until Abner Uribe happened. And then I guess that became the lead.
The hell was that about?
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was kind of funny, but I said, is he really doing that?
So the backstory, because it was a 6-0 game at the time, 8th inning, and the Cardinals have a couple runners on base. Abner Uribe, Brewers reliever, earlier in the inning I hadn't seen this, by the way, yet. Now, I'm sure it's happened, but I hadn't seen it. Usually when there is a pitch challenge for ABS, the hitter instigates it or the catcher instigates it. Abner decided he was going to instigate one a little earlier in the inning, and you see Pat Murphy walk down the dugout, and what I'm thinking, and I haven't played in the World Series of Poker Man event, Doug, in 10 years, so my tells might be off, my reads might be off. But I think Pat Murphy's thinking to himself, the hell's he doing? That was my read. I don't know. You know, Queen Jack offsuit. That's what I think that's my read. And then a couple pitches later, Cardinals have 2 runners on. Alec Burleson is at the plate, and a borderline pitch is called for a strike. And you're going, Burleson, immediately ABS. I didn't think it was a strike. It turned out it was a strike. But in the split second in between that, suddenly the young Brewers reliever turns to the Cardinal dugout. And, Doug, you remember Degeneration X. Was that X-Pac? Was that Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who's now married to Stephanie McMahon? Who else was in there?
I don't know who did that.
Chairman Kurt? Was that Mr. Ass?
Mr. Ass and
Mr. Ass, that was his name?
Yeah, Mr. though. Not Sir, he hasn't been knighted
that was
yet.
Billy Gunn. He went by Mr. Ass.
Mr. Ass, OBE.
Road Dog.
Yep.
The New Age Outlaws. You're leaving out my favorite, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, and China.
And, of course, China, who eventually got into the stag industry. May she rest in peace. So, Doug, that was the tribute that he paid after getting the borderline strike call in a 6-0 game to Degeneration X, turns to the Cardinal dugout, and here is the call of the festivities last night in Milwaukee.
All right.
Strike 3 call. Burleson's going to challenge it. Cardinals have 2 of them left. Oh, look at Uribe. See that? You better hope this is a strike. Oh, it was. And Burleson is retired, and the Cardinals strand 2 in the 8th inning.
How good would it have been if it was called a ball? Oh, my God.
I thought it was. I thought, this is the greatest.
Oh, my God.
But he's such a knucklehead, he probably wouldn't have even cared.
But, like, what if
You're not dealing with a normal
next pitch,
psyche.
Burleson pipes one.
Oh, would have been the greatest. You know what it took me back to? Niger Morgan.
Yeah. Yep.
That absolute clown show that played out for a borderline major leaguer. Mm-hmm. And then for whatever reason, in September of 2011, he decides he's going to go at Chris Carpenter.
threw his
Of all people.
gum or chew at him.
And Chris Carpenter did that interview with To the Majors.
Yeah.
Great podcast.
Yeah.
And he actually brought up Nigel Morgan. They were talking about him, just like they started laughing about him. Now, one of the guys on the podcast said he actually was a great teammate, but for whatever reason, after they beat the Cardinals, he goes on Twitter early in September and talks about, Carpenter can say whatever he wants, but we're going to the playoffs. They're going home. And then, 6 weeks later, the Cardinals not only eliminate Nigel Morgan and the Brewers, but then they win the World Series. So we saw how that played out. But yes, I was thinking we're going to have a little Nigel Morgan comeuppance because I thought that was a ball. But alas, it barely caught the strike zone. Burleson was out. And then you see Marmoltis staring over at the Brewers dugout like, what the hell was that? And then Pat Murphy staring back. And so they come back from commercial break, and Chip Carey says to Brad Thompson, this wasn't as intense as what those of us who would recall from 2003, Tony La Russa and Dusty Baker screaming at each other, but there was communication between the two dugouts over what had just taken place. And the confusion over what had just taken place. Doug, what was your reaction when you said
Well, I couldn't believe what he was doing. I looked at that and said, did he really just do that? I wish that he would come up to the plate and bat an inning later, but that never happens anymore, so the pitchers can do pretty much whatever they want to do. A lot of the Latin players do play with a lot more flair. It's just kind of accepted in their countries, the DR, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. They just play with a little more showmanship, but clearly that was way, way over the line.
Were you watching it live paper, or were you strictly Thunder Spurs? You can be honest with me.
At that time in the 8th, I had moved on to the Spurs and Thunder.
Understandable.
Yeah.
I just happened to be watching the game with my family, and I was pointing out to my 8-year-old, I said, watch where the catcher's glove set up. This guy is missing his location left and right. And so I thought, it's 6-0. It's absurdly unlikely. But because he was missing his location so badly, I thought, well, maybe there's a chance. He clearly has no idea where the ball is going. And this was before Burleson got up there. It's before the D-Generation X Pete Weber tribute. And then he barely gets that ball over, because that would have been magical. I mean, absolutely magical. So after the game, it's talked about, and apparently there's a whole backstory to the thing. We will have that backstory for you coming up, because you will hear from, who do we have here? Pat Murphy, Brewers manager.
Abner Uribe,
but through an interpreter.
Yeah, and then Ivan Herrera.
The reaction to it, your thoughts on it, 314-399-9646. That's how you can text in. You can talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. At the TMA STL YouTube channel, 6,910 friends have subscribed. Doug gets to 7,000. He gets, what do you get, like a gold bullion or something like that?
Gold bullion.
So let Doug hit his bonus plateau of 7,000 subscribers. Subscribe to the TMA STL YouTube channel. And, of course, you're welcome to call in. Chairman Kurt ready at the Collier and Thompson phone lines, 314-974-0101. You'll hear from the Brewers manager. You'll hear from Ivan Herrera. You'll hear from Uribe through his interpreter himself, because there is a backstory as to why he did it. That is coming up next here on The Morning After. Presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN. Michael's Flooring has been in business for now more than 3 decades. Online at igotfloored.com, and with 3 easy-to-get-to locations in the St. Louis metropolitan area. They are in Creve Coeur, Darden Prairie, and St. Peter's. Michael is really passionate about flooring, and when you order from him, he wants you to have the best experience for the best price. That's why he goes out of his way to make sure he gets the best people working at Michael's Flooring. Just come in or talk to him, and you're going to see a difference. They want to make sure they suggest the best thing for you and not pushing what corporate is telling them they have too much of. There is a reason that Michael's Flooring's continued to grow throughout these 3+ decades. Employees love working for him as they feel like family, and he makes sure they're taken care of. This then rubs off to the families buying the product, as they know they have the best interests of the buyers at heart. So check him out at igotfloored.com or go see him in Creve Coeur, Darden Prairie, or St. Peter's. They have it all for you, and you can check that out firsthand at igotfloored.com. Doug, they're younger.
Oh, they hungry. Oh, yeah, boy. They hungry.
Doug, do you want to share what you shared off air with me? And I'm not talking about your tender kisses.
About the Cardinals?
Yeah.
I was afraid at the beginning of the season that this last night's game was kind of what we'd see much of this season, where they just seemed overmatched and just didn't have much at all. Thankfully, we've only seen a couple of those games. It's not fair to say that that's the team the Cardinals have been this year. But last night they really didn't put up much of a fight.
I think it's a very fair assessment. I think for a large number of fans, we would fall into, and I'm including myself in there, so hence the first person, we would say this has been an incredibly pleasant surprise, but inevitably there is a feeling that the bottom is going to drop out. I will not because they deserve to be in the same conversation, but you got to really, number one, be old enough to remember, and number two, have the memory to go back to the early part of the 2004 season. The early part of the 2004 season, if you look it up, the Cardinal record wasn't great, but for our jobs in television, we were down there all the time, and you could tell that it was on the verge of breaking through. And eventually it broke through, and they won 105 games. In this case, I would view this kind of like a stock where I'm going, it's fun, but when you have 5 through 9 in the order being offensive liabilities, many of whom would not be playing for a lot of major league teams. Jose Fermin is your 5th hitter. That is not a sustainable business model. It's fun, but it's not a sustainable business model. And then also the rotation, which, don't get me wrong, in the month of May in particular, been turning out quality start after quality start. I think it'd be fair to say most people, and certainly nationally around baseball, they were saying this is probably over its skis. And so, unfortunately, there was likely to be semblance of a regression. Now, the counterpoint to the last 2 games, and I think this is a really important point because they're not household names. So if, for example, they would have been out in L.A. and they would have gone up against, Yamamoto, and Glasnow's healthy. It seems like he's healthy a quarter of the year. But whatever. A couple of those guys, or if Ohtani's pitching, whatever. And they got shut down like that. People would go, well, they went up against Yamamoto and Ohtani. That's going to happen. Mizrowski and Harrison are 2 of the best in the game, but most people who are casual fans of the game probably don't know who they are. Mizrowski got some national headlines because of the 57 pitches that went over 100 miles an hour on Memorial Day, and Harrison has been one of the best pitchers in baseball in the month of May. And so it looks like, this is the Cardinals, they're starting to have their fallout. And I'm not saying that's not the case. I'm just saying they did go up against 2 incredible pitchers who are on a world-class heater as far as the velocity that Mizrowski has, and Harrison has just been sick over the last month. And so that is an important part of the equation as well. With that said, Mizrowski and Harrison have nothing to do with who is in the Cardinal order 5 through 9. In the Cardinal order 5 through 9 is rough.
It's got to be about as weak a second half of the lineup as any team in baseball, I would think.
Can't imagine something worse.
No.
I mean, even the Rockies have guys who hit it, but I realize they're playing in that goofball thing. But, it's brutal.
And I don't think you can count on Jordan Walker hitting 300 all season and hitting.
If nobody's hitting behind him, I realized last night they moved him up. But
he's probably not going to continue to hit a home run every 3rd game. You would think that he's going to come down to life a little bit. You would think, maybe not, but you would think he would. And if he doesn't have the kind of all-star season he's having, scoring runs is really going to be hard for the team going forward. They're going to be seeing a lot of the Brewers, and the Brewers have got a lot of pitching, a lot of it. And a number of guys hurt, too, coming back soon. So it's going to be really tough to keep up with the Brewers if they don't add some punch.
The Cubs are in a nosedive to last place, though. That's from Al Arbor's Spectacles.
That's 10 in a row.
That's true.
And they got shipped last night by the Pirates.
Right.
Shipped by the Pirates. This is all part of a season. Don't get me wrong, but, there's been a common theme since the outset of the season on this show. I can't speak for where everybody else is. Middle relief, but then Soriano emerged, and then also the 5 through 9 spots in the lineup. And, it's such a precipitous drop-off that as a fan, if you're watching, once the cleanup hitter goes, whether it's Walker or Burleson, usually that's dependent upon if it's a righty or lefty starter, you go, okay, well, this is like when a band starts playing some of their new stuff that you're not interested in. You can go up and get a drink, use the little wizard's room, whatever the case might be, because you're not going to see much 5 through 9.
Maybe there's hope for Torres. He kind of looks like he's got something. He had a couple hits last night. For a guy who just came up and looks very comfortable as a hitter, perhaps there's hope there that he could provide a little help at the back end. But it's going to take more than him. It's going to take a couple guys to get it going.
Cardinals have lost 5 of 6 now. And in those losses, which date back to last Wednesday against the Pirates, they scored 0 runs. They scored 2 runs. They scored 8 in their win against the Reds. That was the one win in the 5 of 6. They should have won that second game in the doubleheader, but whatever, that's part of the process. There are some games that they won that they shouldn't have. And then they scored 1 run against Mizrowski and 0 runs against Harrison and the delightful Uribe, who we have the audio from last night's festivities,
okay.
Doug. And Papers, you've got it. You had to go scouring the internet to get a tip of the cap to Derek Gould because he of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch and now here on 101 ESPN as well. Posted that. You set it up, Jackie Papers. You're the one with the full head of hair here.
Yeah. You want Abner Uribe's?
Let's get the call again to set the stage for the listeners just joining us here in the healthcare evolution. 7 o'clock hour. This is what took place in the 8th inning last night when he struck out Alec Burleson.
Strike 3 call. Burleson's going to challenge it. Cardinals have 2 of them left. Oh, look at Uribe. See that? You better hope this is a strike. Oh, it was. And Burleson is retired, and the Cardinals stand 2 in the 8th inning.
Nolly Marmol is just looking across the dugout in disbelief. What the hell was
I
that?
think everybody probably was. I would expect the Cardinals probably won't react much to that today. I don't think it pays off to throw a pitch in Christian Yelich back.
Were you watching and thinking that might come in the bottom of the 8th inning?
I thought it might. And
Brad Thompson referenced it too.
Yeah, if it didn't come them, I would let it go today. Get past it.
I was watching with my family. I said, keep an eye out, especially if it's a 6-0 game. If you're going to send the message. And then they got ahead of Yelich 0-2, and they're just like, well, it's not going to happen. At least I didn't think. If they were going to do it on an 0-2 pitch with 2 outs, whew. So no message was sent. Brad Thompson said that was something that he thought could have happened. Let's say he was with the 2006 Cardinals, and Tony La Russa is orchestrating hits from behind the sunglasses at night. This is what was talked about after the game. Papers, what do you got?
So I got Abner Uribe. He's asked about it through a translator, so I've cut out all of Uribe's actual answer in Spanish and just had the translator in there for
Very nice.
timing purposes.
Very nice, sir.
Abner, can you explain just kind of what you were thinking or feeling out there to react the way that you did?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, everyone here knows me and knows who I am and knows I have a bit of a history of being emotional out there. But again, I think first I owe an apology to the Brewers. I owe an apology to my teammates, to my manager, all the bosses of the team. I understand that that's unacceptable to go out there and to react in a way like that. But at the same time, I don't think it's professional for their manager to be making signs towards our dugout saying that he's going to be hitting guys. And there was an event that occurred during the practice today too, and I don't think that was right. So, I have my teammates back always.
What happened? That event with the Cardinals earlier?
I don't have any comments towards that.
And then also things during the game he was signaling?
Yes, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Something that they were going to hit you guys?
Yeah, that was the sign he was doing. Every time Yelly or Williams stepped up to the plate, that's a gesture he was making in the dugout.
Does that go back to the previous series with them, Abner? Was there history there?
No, I don't necessarily think so. The type of person I am and how I think. I take things very much day to day. But at the same time, when, like I said, I don't think it's very professional for them to be making gestures like that, and I don't think it's right for any of my guys to be going out there with any sort of fear in their heads that we may be getting thrown at or they can't play the game the way that they want to be able to play. So I want to make sure it's also clear that my teammates in here know that I have their back and I'm on their side.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. He tried to turn it around. I've got my teammates back. That's why I did it. Baloney.
So he brought up that something happened in the pregame. He called it practice, but we're going to call it pregame because I don't think that the boys got together and got some work in the morning.
No. And
then was asked about it. Good work by the reporter following up. And then he said, well, I'm not going to get into it. Well, okay, you're the one who brought it up, but whatever, fine. And then he's saying that Ali Marmol is signaling that he's going to hit their players, their hitters.
What signal is that exactly?
That strikes me
Well,
as
if they
odd.
panned over and Alimar Morrill's doing the chop and McGreevy.
And then he says he's protecting his guys. So then you go, okay, well, let's see if Pat Murphy agrees that that's what's going on. Doug here is the Brewers manager.
Okay.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Yeah, it's just unacceptable. I don't know what got over him. I mean, he's been an emotional guy, but that kind of thing, that's just not how we do things, and I was embarrassed by it. And, you know, why are we doing it? It's 6-0 game. What are we doing there? And there must be something deeper that I don't know about. I love the kid. Believe me, I love the kid. There's so much good in this kid. He's been so great for us in so many ways, but that's unacceptable. So whatever's going on, you can't tolerate that for his teammates and for everything else. It's just not. It's not going to be tolerated. That's all there's to it.
Process-wise, Murph, is that already handled?
Well, I've already talked to him about it, but we haven't. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if MLB did something. You know what I mean? Like that's just you don't do that. Okay, we all have emotions. We all feel things and have our personal likes and dislikes, but. And emotions run high. We understand that. Home runs, strikeouts, ninth inning saves. You know, the thing that I think about is if that challenge got overturned, you know, you got to reset and go back out there and pitch. You know, this is Major League Baseball. You know, guys can reset, boom, base hit, dumper, homer, and all of a sudden it's 6-5. You know, so it's like. You know, that kind of stuff is just there's no place for it. If you're trying to be a really good team, if you're trying to repeat the kind of things we've done the last couple of years, if you're trying to do that and more, that stuff there's no part of it in the game.
There you go. So it sounds like he is more on the side of, yeah, that was just crap, and he is not citing anything that took place between the two teams before the game, as Uribe, through his interpreter, said happened, nor did he cite Ali Marmol signaling to hitters that the Cardinals were going to hit them before Uribe did the D-Generation X crotch chop / Pete Weber crotch chop.
I'm kind of inclined to believe that Uribe is just kind of a clown. Might be a good pitcher, but he's just kind of a loose cannon.
Which is why I cite earlier in the inning where he, on his own for the first time, and I know pitchers can do this, but I just hadn't seen a pitcher go to the hat to get an ABS review, which he didn't win, and then Pat Murphy just starts walking down the dugout like, what the hell's he doing? And 5 minutes later, he's crotch chopping. So I think it does fall into, you already got a little read on the behavior out there. Papers, what were your thoughts?
Should also be noted, Uribe, early in the season, I think he closed out a game against the Mets, shushed their dugout after the game, and then in 2024, against the Tampa Bay Rays, he was suspended 6 games and fined following a benches clearing brawl. Just to paint the picture here.
It's good context, sir. It's good context.
I haven't seen anyone corroborate that Marmol was doing those gestures. I don't know. I don't know if they asked any other Brewers players. I've looked to see if there's any articles like Brewers players saying, yes, Ali Marmol is doing that. I have not seen that yet.
But what's the gesture? I've never seen a gesture where a manager says, we're going to hit you in the head.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be.
Hitting the side of your head like Carmelo Anthony. I don't know. I don't know what that would be.
It only takes one goofball to do something like this, and the next thing you know, you got 50 players out there in a brawl in the middle of the field.
And safe to say, cover the Cardinals, but also like Cardinal fans might be a little biased. It would surprise me immensely if Ali Marmol would be doing something like that.
I would agree with you, and not just because whether you like Ali Marmol or don't like Ali Marmol, taking that out of it. That's if you're signaling that you're going to hit somebody in the head,
right?
I mean, that's the kind of thing that baseball would fine the hell out of him and suspend him for.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, hitting a guy, it's kind of understood, but there's also the place where you hit them. Guys know it. Remember Ohtani got hit? Mm-hmm. Was like laughing about it here in St. Louis a couple weeks ago. I brought that up on the show. I thought it was a response by the Cardinals to Mason Wynn getting pitched High and Tighter got hit, I think, on the Saturday night game, and Ohtani just kind of laughed. And then there was the game last year between the Padres and Dodgers where Ohtani told the guys to go back in the dugout.
Right.
So you just kind of understand that's the cost of doing business. This, I think, was just a clown show. Now, Ivan Herrera was asked about it, correct?
Yes.
And this audio is Derek Gould.
Derek Gould.
Posting. Tip of the cap to Derek Gould for getting this audio and posting it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not fun if you're throwing to a hitter up to your head, and I say keep it down, and he started laughing. So, I mean, I didn't do anything crazy, but also we're trying to score runs, and maybe we almost did. So, I feel like just disrespectful to the entire team what he did. So, I hope we take care of it, and we move on. So. It's just part of the game, but I don't think you can do that to the whole team. If you have an issue with me, you come to me. You had the chance to do that to me. I was in second and you didn't. So, just don't disrespect our team, and we're not going to do that. So, go from there.
Do you think he did that celebration because of
I don't know. I don't know what's going through his head, honestly. You have me in second there if you had to tell me something. I wasn't disrespectful. I said keep it down because you're throwing two sinkers to my head, It's a little uncomfortable there, and then you go, like I said, you go do that to the entire team. It's disrespectful. So
There you go.
Yeah.
And I realize, number one, obviously, Herrera's first language is not English, plus the audio is a little, you can hear, I think they're playing some of the, Doug, what do you call it, B-roll of the event?
I never say B-roll.
Frustratingly so.
Video.
Yeah, frustratingly so. But so what he was saying there is he said to keep the ball down. That pissed off Uribe. Then Herrera's out at second base, and he mentioned it, and he thinks that that's what got him all pissed off. But he's just saying keep the ball down. That's kind of an understood, trade of the game. You can throw inside. That's fine. Not at the head. That's the deal. But as I said in the first segment of today's show, I was watching last night's game, and I'm going, okay, it's 6-0, but this guy they got out there has no idea where the ball's going. I assume it was Contreras behind the plate at that time. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching where he's setting up, and Uribe's location would go anywhere but where his glove was.
Right.
He was all over the place. So I don't think he was throwing at them intentionally. I just don't think he knows where the hell it was going. And he was probably frustrated. He's going to the ABS. Murphy, I think, the manager, was pissed that he did that because now the Brewers are out of challenges, even though it's a 6-0 game. And then just in general, I think, Doug, you hit the nail on the head. Clown show.
Yeah, that's all it is. Just a goofball player. You can throw the hell out of a baseball, but personally, he's just kind of a goofball.
Tim, are we hammering that money line today? That's from Young Hung, Big Al. Doug, Dustin May will try to play the role of stopper for the Cardinals today. Who's throwing for the Brewers?
Doesn't look like they've announced
That's
yet.
what I thought. And I thought maybe after the game.
MLB.com has him as TBD.
Dustin May throwing for the Brewers. I don't know if they're going to go bullpenning today since they've already got the first two, and you got a Busman special in Milwaukee. Good test here for Dustin May. After his first two starts were atrocious, he has been pretty damn good. They need him today. They need him, and it's an opportunity for some momentum going up against a team that, at the very least, in their best case scenario, will have lost 10 of 12, possibly 12 straight in the Chicago Cubs. That thing's a disaster right now before they come to town for the weekend. And here in St. Louis, I would imagine fans would like to feel a little bit of momentum going into a big weekend as well, and not going, oh boy, the bottom's dropping out, and the second half of May has set up a June swoon.
Yeah, if you lose this one, that'd be 4 in a row. You'd fall 4.5 behind the Brewers. You don't want that. It's kind of a big game.
Yeah.
If there's any pitcher on the Cardinals staff that might be willing to send a message to the Brewers, I would think it might be Dustin May.
Absolutely.
But you can't have your starter do that in the first inning.
No.
You need him to go about 6 innings and the Cardinals to be ahead 8-0, and then go ahead and do some crotch chops or something.
What if the Brewers sent out Uribe in the front to start the game?
To lead off the game.
Lead off the game, just like here, take him.
Just don't hit anyone else.
He's a clown, too.
Don't hit anyone else. They don't deserve it.
Your thoughts on what has been transpiring with the Cardinals and the Brewers. 314-399-9646. That's how you can text into the show. Air Comfort Service text inbox starting on Monday. Little Jackie Papers will be giving those of you who do not have a text inbox name a name if you politely request it for the first week of the month of June. You can also talk it over in the YouTube chat. That's the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat, youtube.com/TMASTL. 263 friends are in there, including problematic baseball dad, who's talking to deep voice dude Scorsy, and 263 friends in the TMASTL YouTube channel where you can watch the program. The Lifetime Roofing lead could have been Torts, sending VGK to their third Stanley Cup final in the franchise's less than 10 years in the league. Could have been OKC, moving one win away from going up against the Knicks in the finals. And again, the city during the Holly Randall podcast interview with Madison Ivey, I thought that was viable, but it doesn't seem like that has any traction. Lifetime Roofing is the sponsor of the lead, and Lifetime Roofing is online at lifetimeroofingstl.com, serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 2005. They're veteran-owned. They're locally owned, and they are owned by a gentleman by the name of Dustin McClendon, who I know runs a wonderful business. But even if I just say it and you're going, okay, you're just saying it, well, that's fine. They're award-winning and A-plus rated, and you can ask them about their literal lifetime warranty on new roofs and James Hardy siding. Lifetime Roofing, STL.com. Detailed inspections before every project, so no surprises mid-job. You're going to get a clear scope, clear pricing, and no change order games. Lifetime Roofing, STL.com. Call them 24/7 with any roofing issues you may have at 314-800-0426. Lifetime Roofing, STL.com. 746 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne with the day off today. Jackson Burkett and his new full head of hair on the ones and twos. Chairman Kurt filtering phone calls and emails. This is TMA 101 ESPN.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update. That's brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Cardinals try to pick up a win in Milwaukee today following the loss last evening. 12:40 p.m. first pitch with Dustin May on the mound for the Redbirds. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
What do you think? It's Andre 3000's birthday?
Oh, I wouldn't have any idea on that.
What about Big Boy?
No clue.
No, it's Three Stacks' birthday.
Doug Three Stacks.
It's Three Sticks' birthday.
Stacks.
Stacks.
Andre 3000 had the best quote I've ever heard about rappers still trying to make music like past 45.
Hove has not cut any new tracks.
Not since 444, I don't think.
Was 444 his last?
I don't know.
He
John
said,
Carter, Doug.
He said, I can't be rapping about the things I used to rap about and then going to my prostate exam. So now I play the flute or whatever he does now.
Yeah, he plays a flute?
Yeah,
jazz flute?
I think he had an album a year or two ago where it's just basically just him on the...
Who's the flautist?
Andre 3000.
Andre 3000, Doug. He was the one singing about Miss
Andre
Jackson.
Benjamin.
And was that about Erykah Badu's mom?
I don't have the slightest idea. I really don't.
Be nice if you did a little show prep. Just be nice.
Gotta do show prep.
Gotta do show prep. You can call in and talk it over regarding Erykah Badu at 314-974-0101. Callie and Thompson phone lines. You can also text in 314-399-9646. In that Air Comfort Service text inbox, Eric in the Central West End is not happy and says 444 was ass.
The Story of OJ is a great song.
Jackson counters. After there was a brief moment of an alliance between you and Eric in the Central West End yesterday, now you're sideways again.
Well, you know me. It's I don't mind an a la carte alliance. You know, having an alliance on one specific instance doesn't necessarily mean a lifetime of a bond.
Look at that. Think about that.
A la carte alliance.
A la carte alliances. Would you like an a la carte alliance? Text in or talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. We are in the healthcare evolution 7 o'clock hour here on TMA Healthcare Evolution. If you missed the very beginning of the program, I'd recommend going back at the beginning on YouTube and seeing the image that Logan Taylor of Healthcare Evolution sent me yesterday. Jackson's before and after pictures, Doug.
Pretty incredible.
I mean, for real. Mm-hmm. And that was just done 4 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah. I mean, that's the results we're seeing right now in a couple of months. Very excited to see after the second treatment what it looks like come September. I'm very excited to see what it looks like.
There's a part of me, because you guys know I'm going over to China in late June to get that leg breaking surgery.
Yeah.
And then if I get this hair thing done at Healthcare Evolution, there's a part of me that thinks I might be the George Clooney of St. Louis by 2028.
It almost wouldn't be fair.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining you teeing off after all of this work you've done and just falling over because both of your femurs have snapped because of this leg lengthening surgery. And there wouldn't be an ambulance close enough to rectify that issue.
And the legs wouldn't match the torso.
Yeah, you'd be
high-waisted.
No. Here's the thing. I have the torso of a normal-sized human being.
You're short legs?
It's short legs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bad beat.
This could just balance you out.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I think my torso is for a 6'3" gentleman. So once I get this leg breaking surgery over in China, again, that's late June that I'm getting it done.
And the hair done.
And then I'm going to
hair
Healthcare
down to your
Evolution
shoulders.
now. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about my appearance.
Are you?
Just imagine you in whatever hotel room you're staying in Shanghai, just crawling to the bathroom for the slightest sweet relief of whatever painkiller they give you to rectify the issue of the stabbing pain in both legs after having your femurs shattered.
You go in there perfectly healthy,
Right.
and they're going to chop both your legs off.
No. They're just going to break the bones.
Yeah.
Basically chopping them up.
Yeah.
And then they're going to put a rod between the bones
That's right.
to give you another 2, 3, well, in your case, 7 or 8 inches.
That's correct.
And then what they do, Doug, is then they stretch you
Oh.
so that your ligaments try to form around the rods.
Right.
And so now you're,
It sounds like about a 5-year recovery.
for 3 inches of height.
Oh, my God. By the time you're 63, you're going to be so much hotter, and you're already so hot, Mr. Tim. Doug, that's big, blonde.
Stop it, Dan.
Dan. The tuba maker says he's 6'4" with a 30-inch inseam. What in God's name?
Boy, howdy. That's a lot of torso.
Telling you.
30-inch inseam? I was looking at Dockers.com yesterday. We were talking about something with pant size, and they do sell a real tidy 50-inch waist, 28-inch inseam.
28.
I mean, that would be...
That's like a basketball.
It's a bad beat. Polos Plus is the sponsor of the dossier here on TMA, and that's polosplus.com, and that's where you can now go and get the Navy Caps on the Road t-shirt, which was created by a graphic designer who is the sister of a longtime listener. She does wonderful work. Navy Caps on the Road has been a battle cry on this program for a good long while. Chairman Kurt has what I think is the #1 hit. I guess it's, I don't know if they're going to start doing like the AI top 25, like Billboard did the top 25, because Doug, it'll be up against that Puerto Rico song that's sweeping. Have you heard Puerto Rico?
I don't think so.
Chairman, you liked it? I just saw you waved your hands together and rubbed them tightly.
That was well done by that gentleman.
Doug, Puerto Rico.
It's an AI song?
Yeah.
Jackson, maybe that'll be the
Sure.
Okay.
return music. But yeah, the Navy Caps on the Road. You have the TMA hats. We have rope hats, the hat that I'm wearing right now. A wide variety of different hats, depending on your hat style preference. Golf shirts in a wide variety of brands, because that's what Polos Plus has. Quarter zips, and even for the first time in the 22 years of this program, a women's line as well. It's all at polosplus.com. If you have a business and you are looking for logoed merchandise, I recommend the one that has been in business in the St. Louis area for 30 years. That's Corey Lawson, Andrew Hubbard, and everybody at polosplus.com. If you're interested in the TMA merchandise and the Navy Caps on the Road shirt, it's all there. You go to polosplus.com. There is a tab at the top of the page, TMA. Click on that, and now you are in the TMA store. polosplus.com, sponsor of the dossier here on the Morning After. As I referenced, the Cardinal conversation, certainly the focal point for the first 45, 50 minutes of today's show. The Cardinals, in their response last night to whatever was going on with Brewers reliever Abner Uribe, Pat Murphy himself, the Brewers manager, said, I don't know what got over him. I mean, he's an emotional guy, but that kind of thing. That's just not how we do things. I was embarrassed by it. Why are we doing it? It's a 6-0 game. What are we doing there? So will Dustin May come out today and send a message? What do you think, Doug?
I'll say no.
Ooh, predictionary time.
I'll say no. It's hard to say what a message is. Does he throw one pitch inside? He might have done that anyway. If he starts hitting people, they fall behind a little bit, and some people that don't deserve it start to get plunked in the back.
Maybe you got a big lead, huh? Maybe you got a big lead. Maybe Prieto's hitting cleat up and they're raking.
Well, it could happen, I guess. I think I would just let it go. I think it's such an outlier. I would rather, as a Cardinal team, I'd rather have somebody on the other team out there dancing than throwing at my players. And the Cardinals, I think, are tied for the Major League lead for having players getting hit by pitches. That would anger me more than a guy dancing out there.
So you say no, Doug. No one will be plunked.
I'm going to say no.
Okay, Tim?
I want to be transparent as all get out here with the audience. I want it. So I need to acknowledge my bias as I go into Predictionary. The Cardinals, however, need to win this game. So then we've got the balance. We don't know who's pitching for the Brewers yet. I'm going to say he's going to do it. We got the right guy out there. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say he's going to do it.
Yeah, if it was Palante pitching, I would say no. With Dustin May.
This guy's a banty rooster.
Yeah,
Dustin May doing it.
But you sure can't do it early. You don't need him tossed out of the game in the first inning.
I think it would be an immediate warning. I think as long as he hit someone like, on the thigh or the back, and it wasn't a Peter at 98, I don't think it would be something where I think it would be a warning to both benches, and then that would be it. So I will say yes.
For the record, he has never been ejected from a game for disciplinary reasons. just for the record.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
So even
think
though he
they
might
do
be a banty rooster, he's not known as a headhunter.
I think you don't even do it. I mean, I'm certainly no pitcher, but that first time through the lineup, maybe you don't do it, so that guys are a little maybe like, oh, am I going to be the one who's going to have to wear this? And then after one time through the order, no one gets hit, guard's a little down, that's when you send the message.
I think it's kind of dangerous just because this is probably the most important game they've played so far this season in terms of they're starting to slide a little bit. They're already 3.5 behind the Brewers, who are the team they're probably going to be chasing all summer long.
Right.
You can't let this one get away.
I think it's situational. I think if you're up 4-0, you do it. If you're down 4-0, the last thing you want to do is compound the issue.
Dockers paper? Dockers papers? I guess it's tell me you're a wealthy slush fun having silver spoon up your ass person without saying you're wealthy. Doug, that's from the 618. When you talk about buying Dockers, that communicates wealth?
Seriously, if
I don't think so.
Possibly buying Dockers or even browsing their website is a brag about your wealth, we got to have a conversation.
Now, what conversation do you want to have with the 618?
I mean, that's an affordable pant.
It's a meat and potatoes trouser.
It's a real meat and potatoes trouser that you can find pretty much any basic department store. I mean, that's the it's the mid-level of trouser, I would say. It's the Toyota Camry of trouser.
Is that how they advertise themselves?
Yeah,
it's
reliable.
Baseline britches.
Yeah, they're just not doing anything crazy with that. I really just wanted to see if they sell pants in such a quirky size discrepancy, and they do. I'd like to see them in person, the wide pants, short leg. I'd really like to see what that looks like.
Sharon in Clayton has issued her official judgment on Dockers, Doug.
Okay.
Dockers are a measure of wealth for Jeffco. That's Sharon in Clayton. So she has let everybody know where they are in the hand, and it looks like they're behind. Sharon in Clayton. You can also text in 314-3999-646. Air Comfort Service text inbox. Of course, you can call in. Chairman Kurt mans the Collier and Thompson phone lines at 314-974-0101. And then we have the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Michelob Ultra, 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbohydrates. And the sponsor of the YouTube chat, a longtime sponsor on the Morning After. And we have wonderful weather in the forecast over the next week. Go out and enjoy it with friends, with family, with a Michelob Ultra sponsor of the YouTube chat. Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Martin Kilcoyne vacationing today. Jackson Burkett with you on the program. Chairman Kurt manning the Collier and Thompson phone lines and the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. I will be vacationing at Jackson's parents' place in the Hamptons.
Okay. Get ready for the U.S. Open.
And Friday to get ready for the U.S. Open. I might get in the field. Sponsors exemption. They do that now for the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And we'll see if I can break 150 at Shinnecock. I like my chances.
I think every tournament needs one average Joe out there playing, just so the rest of us can relate to what the typical golfer would shoot
like
on
a
some
marker.
of these courses. Yeah, under the pressure, on tough greens and the toughest courses in the world. I would like to see an average Joe play in every tournament.
Well, as everybody in town knows, I turned 50 on September 27th. And it's no coincidence that the Stiefel Classic got moved back from early September to October. And there's a little buzz that they might have done that to get me into the field, even though it is a playoff event, and that would be totally against the rules.
They just want you in there somehow.
For the buzz that it would create.
Okay. How about the buzz when you come back in 3 years, 4 inches taller with a head of hair?
Yeah. It's going to be a field day at Bricktops.
Scars like you just got carved up by a pirate.
Walking with a severe limp. But taller.
Scars.
Right, exactly.
Scars still bright red 3 years later.
Yeah.
So many infections.
Who even wears Dockers anymore?
Oh.
This isn't 1994. That's from Harrison's sister, Ruth.
I mean, they make a modern pant.
618 thinks Dockers are, quote, nice pants. She may be the poorest listener. That's from Tim's high school buddy.
Big
I didn't know
assumption.
618 was a she.
Yeah, massive assumption there.
I think you could see somebody wearing Dockers and not even realize they were Dockers, couldn't you? They look like any other pants.
It's one of the more by-the-numbers pants you'll ever see.
Tim, your birthday, September 27th. Mine's September 28th. Look at us, Tim.
Stop
That's
it.
from the Closeted Beatnik. I think that's Jack Kerouac?
I don't know.
I don't even know what Dockers are. That's from Illini Lance.
It's just a
brand of clothes.
Yeah. I'm sure you had plenty of Dockers khakis in your day,
Oh,
Doug.
gosh.
Yeah.
Might still have a pair or two.
Oakville Lawnmonger says to ship the Brewers winning today and bet that there will be a brawl. I don't know if sports books allow you to bet on whether or not there'll be a brawl.
I don't think there'll be.
Maybe can we go on a prediction market or something like that?
Yeah, that would, if there was going to be something like that.
That's where we get it. You're not going to find that.
But then what's a brawl? You know, if all the bench is clear, is that then a brawl, or does a punch have to be thrown?
See what the line is on this thing, because the Brewers haven't announced their starter. So.
I got it at...
What do you got there, Pappas?
I got Cardinals are plus 126 in the money line.
All right.
Run line 1.5, over under 8.5.
All right.
Yeah. Even on sports books, they're not announced as a pitcher yet.
How can you have an over-under when you don't know who the pitcher's going to be for the
Doug,
Brewers?
I share your opinion, I have to tell you.
Well, someone's going to be throwing the baseball.
How about that? Think about that.
Hopefully it's Abner Uribe.
Wouldn't that be the greatest leadoff hitter? Let's see what we got here. We got a very active text inbox. The Stiefel Classic trying to get Tim into the field is like how the UFL tried doing everything to get the Battlehawks into the championship game and just couldn't do it. That's from Berg the Blob, Doug. Berg the Blob.
Okay. Maybe the way to get back at Uribe is if Jordan Walker can hit a home run, and as he crosses the plate, he does the crotch chop to the Brewers.
Would you
dugout.
enjoy that?
I would. And who's going to come after him? They're all going to say, "That's fine, Jordan. Thank you."
I would love it. I mean, it makes it... The 2003 Cardinals and Cubs was, for my money, the best the rivalry was. They hated each other, and they were in the mix for the National League Central together at that time. That was late August, early September 2003, when Dusty Baker and Tony La Russa are screaming at each other. They're throwing at each other. It was great entertainment. So if there's a rivalry, that adds to it. I'm all for it. Now, I think the Brewers only come here one more time, but... That adds to the entertainment. So yeah, I'm again, in the whole scheme of things, it's a May 27th baseball game. But from the Cardinals and having lost 5 of 6, the offense falling off as of late, part of that a credit to the super talented pitchers the Brewers have started out there with Mizrowski and Harrison over the last 2 nights. But that 5 through 9 is problematic. You can't lose the game. And then you also have the carryover from last night with a guy who I realize probably most Cardinal fans haven't really gotten a sense for, but Dustin May's got a little bit of Chris Carpenter in him. That would be the way I would try to draw an analogy. So do with that what you will. 314-399-9646. That's how you can text and call in 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson phone lines, and talk it over with other TMA listeners in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. The program is called The Morning After. It's presented by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios. FanDuel's giving you better payouts on same-game parlays all NBA playoffs long. With more ways to build and more value every time you play, you can stack your picks your way for every game, every matchup, and every moment. From spreads to player points to threes and more, build it all into one same-game parlay and go for bigger payouts. So if you're betting same-game parlays this NBA postseason, bet them on FanDuel. More options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Jackson Burkett has a play for you.
Yeah, looking at this Cardinal game, a lot of red meat there, given the situation. How about a little same-game parlay, which our friends at FanDuel have boosted at 25% boost there. I like the St. Louis Cardinals money line. Let's take the Cardinals to win. And then I feel like one of the de facto leaders of the position players is Alec Burleson, just by age.
Okay.
And if we need someone to step up after a situation like this, it's the Cardinals thing. 2+ total bases, that pays plus 250.
All right. Jackie Papers has given us a Cardinal win and Burleson 2+ bases.
Yeah, plus 250.
And it pays plus 250.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. It's at FanDuel. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. Must be 21 or older and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Doug, this is the Puerto Rico song.
Okay.
Sax Boy Billy.
Sax Boy Billy. Do you see Jennifer Love Hewitt's TikTok to this?
No, I didn't.
Remember her from Can't Hardly Wait? Was that 99, I think, or 98?
I don't know the years, Tim.
It was a banger.
You can see why the music industry is scared to death of AI. Because this probably cost nothing to produce, probably zero, as opposed to getting studio musicians together and a singer and studio time. And, you know, that's going to be the wave of the future.
Jackson, you like that one? Were you jamming to it at Tam Ave this weekend?
I didn't hear it. Didn't hear it, but hey, I'm not ruling it out for the future. You ever seen that I Know What You Did Last Summer with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Sure. Delightful film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hold on, watch this.
Here's that hand motion.
Scary.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't even want to look. It's
Hook hand. The guy with the hook hand, Doug.
Oh.
That's scary. Plunge that right in your chest.
Do you know where Captain Hook gets his hooks?
Some cheesy's coming up here, though.
Secondhand store. Oh.
Chubby Checker over here.
Oh.
Chubby Checker and the Fat Boys?
Yeah.
Doing the twist?
Yeah.
88.
It's like, that's what I imagine play the guy who opened comedy before Chubby Checker would do.
That's really good.
Did you enjoy the Chubby Checker reference or the secondhand store more? 314-974-0101. That's how you can call in. Callier and Thompson phone lines. Chair McKernan standing by. You can text in 314-399-9646. Air Comfort Service text inbox, and then watch the program and talk it over with other TMA listeners. Doug, the TMA remote lamp. Does the holiday on Monday mean we get a bonus after the morning after on Friday?
Where's my Francesa no drop?
Yeah.
Scorsese says, you know the answer. Is that the way that it works? So I guess everybody who got a holiday on Monday, they're going to be working on Saturday this week.
Would be fair, yeah. Well, I think Mr. Strode only said that he would work 4 days a week, not 5. So he'd have to get it through his contract, through his attorneys, I guess.
Can I give you my starting lineup?
No, we don't want to hear him.
Mike Francesa is not happy with the Mets. There were expectations there. And Doug, they are now 22-33, have lost 5 in a row. Friend of the program, Mike Francesa, assessing things with the New York Metropolitans.
If you look what they've done since last Wednesday, I mean, 2 runs is an explosion. They barely can get the ball out of the infield. And then they're down 7-0 today. I'm flipping around and I'm going back and forth, and I just happened to catch the Simeon homer. Nothing to do with the homer. But how ridiculous does it look? You're a team that's awful offensively. You are as anemic as any team can be in the major leagues. You're mired in another losing streak. You can't score. You're down 7-0. You hit a solo homer. And in the dugout, you want to dress the guy up in a dumb hat or vest? I mean, what's wrong with you? Do you have no pride? I mean, isn't there a point where we say, hey, we got to get back to basics here. We got to get back to business here. We can't be fooling around with this nonsense. I'm watching that and saying, if I'm on the other team, I'm laughing at them. You hit a solo homer and you're going to celebrate by putting a hard hat on the guy and a vest and all that. What are we doing here? I mean, it's embarrassing. Act like a baseball team. You can't play like a baseball team. You can't hit like a baseball team. You don't know what the heck you're doing. You got a kid coming up today, Morabito, who's got a runner on second base and 2 out, and he's bunting. Huh? I understand he's overmatched to play right now, but why is he in the lineup if that's the case? If he's bunting with a runner on second and 2 out, what is he doing bunting?
I'm kind of with him on these.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. I think he's probably right there. If you're struggling as the Mets are and you're losing a game, I don't think you pimp the home run in the dugout. There's got to be some humility, right?
What about runners at first and second with 2 out and the guy comes up and he bunts?
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, I'd say he's justified in his criticism.
You can give your thoughts as well at 314-399-9646, texting in and calling in 314-974-0101. Guys, that was the most agreeable thing Francesa's ever said. That's from Grandma Johan, Doug. I about pissed myself, Doug. That was awesome. That's from Doug's best friend. So they love the Captain Hook joke.
Did they? Oh, it's a strong joke.
That's Chappellian.
The Mets are already 15 games out of first place with the highest payroll in baseball.
Really? And in the midst of a 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, I wonder if the owners will use that when they start to bargain, try to avoid the lockout, saying, just because we spend a lot of money, that doesn't mean we're going to win it all.
Right.
Well, it's funny that you bring that up because Ken Rosenthal wrote about the surprising division leaders and failures at this point in the season and how that could factor into the conversation regarding the negotiations. The Washington Nationals have to be one of the biggest surprises along with the Cardinals. I realize it doesn't feel that way right now with the Cardinals having lost 5 of 6, but Natitude rakes. I mean, they put it on people offensively. And I got to be honest with you, I'd be put to the test to name a bunch of guys in their lineup. They're the only team in baseball with more than 300 runs.
James Wood is a hell of a player.
Yeah. I think when McGreevy was on after Church hit that home run and he was talking about the Nationals, he goes, I know people don't think much of them. He goes, well, I'm telling you, they've got some guys on that team. And then sure enough, I don't understand Luis Garcia, who I always want to put on the fantasy baseball team, but they never play him against lefties.
Yeah.
Like, he can rake. I mean, is he just like totally, absolutely overmatched anytime he faces a left-handed hitter. I would think you would want that guy in there. But, yeah, it goes back to Wood for sure. C.J. Abrams is a ball player. And they're sitting there at 29 and 27, and they were below the Cardinals on their preseason win total.
Kind of similar.
It was the Cardinals, Nationals, and Rockies were the bottom projection.
Yeah, the Nationals, what they're doing is not so unlike what the Cardinals are doing, where nobody expected anything from them, but some of the young players are playing to their potential and surprising a lot of people.
At the same time, they have a little bit of a pitching issue. They're also the only team in baseball to give up more than 300 runs. It's very difficult to have scored 304 runs at this point in the season, 56 games in, and still have a negative run differential. And that's what an attitude does. Imagine if they got a chance to play some games in Coors Field, what that thing would look like. Cardinals sitting at 29 and 24, having lost 3 in a row. They also have a negative run differential, but their run total is super low, 234, 70 back of the Nationals. They will try to get it going today. I would imagine you will see all of the Cardinal starters in the lineup. Number one, because they've lost the first 2 games of the series, and number 2, because they have an off day, and they'll probably be back in St. Louis by 6 o'clock tonight. Off day tomorrow. Cubs in town this weekend. Try to get some momentum. Will there be a brawl after the Abner Uribe festivities? We will find out. Game time, 12:15. You want to podcast the program? It's brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. SCHAEFER door.com. I was texting with Jason Gosrow of SchaeferDoor.com yesterday. Longtime TMA sponsor. And he is also active with the Ronald McDonald House charity. He is passionate about that, and he has taken care of a lot of TMA listeners over the years. Schaefer Door Company, SCHAEFER door.com. That is a LiftMaster partner. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installations. LiftMaster garage door openers, strong, quiet, and versatile. They service commercial doors as well, so if you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer's experienced in these types of jobs. Go to SchaeferDoor.com or call or text a number they set up for TMA listeners at 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner. 822 in St. Louis. Time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. This is TMA 101 ESPN. Can't play this in the middle of a losing streak. Ass. Tra-la. Doug, maybe today's the beginning of the winning streak. Here we go.
Yeah, they need to put the brakes on this losing skid. Don't let it get away from you. They need May to go 6-7 innings, give up a run or two. Maybe hit somebody, maybe not. Certainly do the crotch chop. And then get out of there with a win. Just be 2.5 back.
This is the year. The Cardinals are coming.
Oh,
and this is Andre 3000 right here?
Yeah, here he is, the flathest. Doug, what's the fastest pitch you ever got hit by when you were playing?
Oh, they didn't measure every pitch in college.
This is ballpark.
Probably upper 80s or 90 maybe.
How'd that feel?
It does not feel good. Depends on where you get it, of course.
Right.
Yeah, doesn't feel good. Got hit by a line drive in the leg once, running the bases. That was about the most painful thing that ever hit me.
Did you go down like a white-tailed buck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a hit and run. I was trying to steal the base. Guy hit a line drive, and I looked back to see where the ball was, and it was right on me, hit right on the bone on the left side of my knee.
Ooh.
You know.
And down you went?
Down I went, yep. And I was out, too.
I bet.
Yeah. Double shoot. The program's called The Morning After. It's presented by Brown and Crouppen. We're in the Fisher Window and Door Store, 8 o'clock hour. And it's a program that solicits your involvement by calling in, texting in, emailing in, or going into the TMA STL YouTube channel, and you can watch the show. And if you want, you can participate in the conversation with eggplant emoji and the TMA remote lamp and Jonathan Sutterer, who's talking to Mandrake. Who says, Doug, your favorite band is Weezer? I didn't know that.
No, I don't know that either.
That's what he says. I don't know that. But, yeah, there's a few hundred people talking it over in there in the TMAST YouTube channel, and Doug's trying to get us to 7,000 subscribers so we can get some gold bullion.
Gold bullion.
Cardinal lineup for today's day game is not out yet. Should be out, I would imagine, within the next hour or so. One of the things that I continue to say and I continue to wonder about is how long they continue to have hitters 5 through 9 be offensive liabilities, especially when you have guys in Memphis raking. And, of course, you have Lars Nootbaar, who will be coming back perhaps as soon as Friday. But last night in Memphis, Doug, the Redbirds, who are 31-21 and in first place, had everyone in their lineup get a hit and everyone but one player get multiple hits. Kind of like the Yankees last night. First time in their franchise's history, storied history, that everybody in the starting lineup had 2 hits or more as they beat the hell out of the Royals. Last night for the Memphis Redbirds, they had 21 hits. And the guys that we're keeping our eye on, here is your breakdown. The one guy who had only 1 hit was Crooks, but he was on base 2 times, scored 2 times, and he was 1 for 4. Baez, 4 for 6, 5 RBIs, including 2 home runs. So he's now sitting on 13 home runs. Blaze Jordan, 4 for 6. Blaze Jordan hit his 9th home run. Nelson Velasquez, the darling of the Cardinals spring training, who did not make the Major League roster, has been on a heater in the month of May. He was 2 for 6 last night, and he continues to rake in the month of May. So the Cardinals have a wide variety of guys at Memphis who are hitting, and they have a real issue 5 through 9 at the Major League level offensively, and it strikes me as a perfect match.
So what moves, if you were Chaim Bloom, would you make right now?
I would love to see them bring up Baez and Crooks.
And send who down?
I would send down Victor Scott, and I don't think that you're necessarily in a spot, as much as I enjoy his pinch hitting, and he has been playing catcher as of late, our guy Pozo. Mm-hmm. Those would be my moves.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything with Gorman. I think that probably factors in with the Blaze Jordan conversation. Now, I don't get it, but if you are really going to have a season of Renway, I don't think they're going to pull the plug on it a quarter of the way through with Gorman, even though I feel like there is a sense that that isn't going to happen. I just need to present this, even though I share those of you who feel that way, opinion that it isn't going to happen, that who amongst us thought Jordan Walker was going to get to what he has done this time 2 months ago?
Yeah. Nobody. I just think with Gorman, you're on year 5 at this point. How much runway does a guy get? And if you could get a pitcher, maybe a good bullpen arm for him, I think maybe now's the time to do that. He may indeed turn out to be a much better hitter somewhere else than he is here, but it doesn't work here for whatever reason. It's not working here.
And I realize the 40-man is the core issue, and I realize the work stoppage is the core issue. I talked about that Ken Rosenthal column, which I'll read through here coming up. But I don't get what the thought process is with 5 through 9, and you have solutions in-house. But if the priority is, hey, we've got this outlier situation that is lurking, and we want to make sure all of these guys are playing on a daily basis, and that's where the priority is, and they can assure them of getting them playing time on a daily basis at Memphis, that's where the organization is, that might be the simple answer.
Yeah.
With Velasquez specifically, and I realize we got to go back a couple of months here, but at the time, for about 5 days, it was a really big story in St. Louis why he didn't make the team. Chaim Bloom said, I remember talking to him down in Jupiter, and he said, well, we brought him in for a reason. We knew that he had this kind of potential, but we want to make sure he's playing every game. And now he didn't say at the time that we really liked Nathan Church, but I do think that was something that was a factor in there. I don't think it was necessarily offensively so much as his ability defensively. He's had some flashes here and there offensively, but that was the reasoning. And then Velasquez starts off the season 0 for 21, and he did damn near nothing in the month of April. But he has been on a heater in the month of May.
And that's a guy who's 27, I believe. If you're
if you're going to go, okay, well, our reasoning is we don't want to have guys with the work stoppage and, of course, the 40-man conversation. I follow that, but Velasquez, to me, wouldn't fall into that category.
You get it for Baez and Crooks for a guy like Velasquez, who has MLB experience, too. It's like, all right.
Gorman, move on. That's from Lisa, who is a gem.
I kind of think it's time. But Nootbaar's playing now in Memphis.
He's in Springfield, but he was in Memphis. They just moved him for travel reasons. But yes, he.
Yeah, I see he's got a home run and 12 at bats since he's been back. So he's probably 2 weeks away. With Crooks as well as he's hitting.
Well, I think he'll be back sooner than that. But who knows? Maybe he can re-injure.
With Crooks as a catcher, you're not going to bring him up and sit him very, very often. And so that's going to affect possibly your whole pitching staff as well if he's not a really good catcher. Assuming that he's as good as Pages or somebody else, then I don't see any reason why you wouldn't bring him up. But if you don't trust him to handle your pitching staff, then it gets a little dicey. Is he a good enough hitter to be a DH? I don't know. I guess we don't know that answer. But as a catcher, there's a little more to it other than just he's hitting a lot better than the major league catchers.
Yeah, and I could see the argument, like, for a good month and a half, the starting pitching was rock solid. I mean, truly rock solid. And I get not, rocking the boat in that sense, but if you do see a slide in starting pitching here in late May, early June, that might be a time where it's like, all right, well, maybe not having Pedro Pages behind the plate wouldn't be a disruptor like it once was.
For the record, in the month of May, gentlemen, Jimmy Crooks has 5 home runs and an OPS of 1,044. That is best at Memphis, but there is a lot of company up there in the 1,000 club. Nelson Velasquez has been going off, as I said, in the month of May. 1,042 OPS. He also has 5 home runs in the month of May, like Crooks. Blaze Jordan, a 1,022 OPS, first base / third base. And Josh Baez, he is sitting there at 7 home runs in the month of May with a 926 OPS. So gives you an idea of what is going on down at Memphis offensively, which is great news. I just think I'd just be really curious, and it's I keep saying it. This is like my internal monologue playing out over the air. I need to, have another conversation with Heim Bloom just to see where they are on it, because I'm certain they're aware of it. It's just there is a glaring issue with the team's offense. It was there before they began this losing 5 of 6 skid. And again, Doug, I think you say that other people are also on scholarship.
Hell, he's on scholarship,
That's
too.
what it is. And Mizorowski and Harrison are certainly on scholarship. So those guys deal. But if you go up against a bullpen start today by the Brewers and you get shut down, that's a different conversation than a guy throwing 100 miles an hour 57 times and a guy like Harrison, who has been just absolutely absurdly good in the month of May. And then you have solutions down at Memphis. But if the North Star for the 2026 season is, number one, there's a work stoppage looming, and number two, we are going to give Nolan Gorman the full year to be in the lineup and then assess the situation, because we don't want him going somewhere else and turning into another Rosarena, Garcia, take your pick of whoever else I'm leaving out who's gone here and left and raked elsewhere, or pitched well elsewhere. And then we're just going to focus on that and make sure these guys at Memphis continue to develop on a day in, day out basis. Then okay, then that's the deal. The one thing I would present that is not an on the field thing to the Cardinal organization is the mindset in this market, and for Cardinal fans around the country, is that it has changed so substantially since the season opened 2 months ago to where we are right now, that you have people not complaining about John Mozeliak, not complaining about not spending money, and talking about how the team is fun. That can go away real quickly. And I think they get the benefit of the doubt because they're young players. You have young players who are talented, who get people excited about the future. You might go, okay, well, it's not going to happen for Gorman. But look at the guy who is the favorite right now for the Rookie of the Year, who hasn't had a real good May, by the way, and J.J. Weatherholt. But he's still out there, and that has people buzzing. Obviously, Jordan Walker. We had the ESPN column yesterday listing him as the third most likely to win the MVP in the National League. It would really surprise me if all of these guys, and I realize they're not going to all get an opportunity, but Crooks, Velasquez, Jordan, Baez, if they were to get a shot, if they all fall on their faces. And I just don't, I'd be curious what the reasoning is. And if it's as simple as, like I said, we just want them down there and we got the 40-man situation, then that's it. But I think that's another kick in the backside for the fan base to get excited about seeing these guys come up and get an opportunity and understand that it may be a process that's going to take a while. But, seeing guys like Gorman and Urias and, what you had in the outfield. Prieto, in fairness, has been raking at Memphis, but then he came up here and it hasn't happened, so that can be the case. But I also would tell you this, that I do not believe the Cardinals necessarily view Prieto as a long-term guy. Just like, even though I know Torres has been really good since he's come up, I don't think they obviously view him as a long-term guy. He's not in the minor leagues for 11 years, if that's their mindset. So some of these guys I'm listing here could be guys you see on a regular basis whenever baseball comes back in 2027 or maybe 2028. So that might be why they're handling them differently than Prieto and Torres. Your thoughts are welcome at 314-399-9646. That's how you can talk it over via the text inbox. You also can do so, in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. That is open for business at youtube.com/TMASTL, and you can call in at 314-974-0101. Collier and Thompson phone lines. You can always email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Doug, would you like to tell us about Seth Goldcamp and their wonderful staff of technicians?
It really is a wonderful staff. It's the home of the handsome repairman. There's the dashing Steve, the bold and daring Adam. There's the rugged Joe. Maybe he brings Joey with him. We don't know. The point is, these are technicians that have been around a while. They've been with the company a while. They know what they're doing. They've seen it all. They can fix anything that might go wrong with your furnace or your air conditioning. Designer's been doing that since 1904. Well, maybe not with the air conditioning. I don't suppose they had much in the way of air conditioning in '04, but they certainly had furnaces, and they can handle anything that your HVAC system can throw at them right now. Not just another HVAC company either. Longest running sponsor on TMA. Seth Goldcamp is at the helm, fourth generation family member running the company. At Design Air, they believe in honest work. You're not going to be sold something that you don't need. So whether you're dealing with the cold or the heat, they've got your back with dependable service and no pressure solutions. They've also got that maintenance plan. Ask about a service contract where they come out before the seasons get extreme and make sure that your furnace or your air conditioning is running just as well as it possibly can. Visit designairservice.com. Schedule your service today. Design Air is comfort you can count on since 1904. Design Air brings the heat.
It has been mostly Cardinal conversation today here on TMA, but the SEC coaches are meeting, and there have been some comments of note regarding, number one, the college football playoff, Banty. Number two, the punt rule. Doug, Eli Drinkwitz got into that yesterday. And then also the possibility of the SEC just breaking away. We'll have that for you coming up next here on TMA. It's 101 ESPN. Well, we are in the home buying market, and so we are currently looking around, but the first step we took was to work with Ryan Luchtefeld at Delmar Mortgage. His number is 618-593-3608. It's his personal number, so I'm going to say it again. Usually it's just all website, delmarmortgage.com, but this is his personal number, 618-593-3608. And I can tell you now that we have completed the process, it was so easy. It's just a different ball game than just a few years ago. Easily uploading everything, and the process has moved a lot quicker and a lot simpler. And that's a credit to Ryan and Delmar Mortgage. It's delmarmortgage.com, a family-owned business of 60 years. Ryan's been working with them for 13. He's been in the mortgage industry for 22 years. They can do pre-approvals and fast-track options that'll make your offer stick out to the local sellers and listing agents with closings in as little as 2 weeks. delmarmortgage.com, or call Ryan Luchtefeld at 618-593-3608. That's 618-593-3608.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update. It's brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Thunder win last night, 127-114, taking a 3-2 series lead over San Antonio. Reigning MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 32 points and 9 assists. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's TMA 101 ESPN. Tim McKernan and Doug Vaughn with you on the program. Martin Kilcoyne vacationing today. Jackson Burkett on the ones and twos. Chairman Kurt filters phone calls and emails here on the presentation. We are in the Stiefel studios. It is the SEC meetings this week, Doug, in Florida. And from Pete Thamel, writing at a moment of feisty rhetoric regarding the biggest issues looming over college sports, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey struck a tone of patience and pragmatism on the eve of the league's annual meeting. Sankey made clear he did not, quote, anticipate any decisions on the college football playoff at the meetings, noting that there's still time ahead of the December 1st deadline. The potential to expand the college football playoff to 24 teams was a big topic nonetheless. Though the Big Ten's coaches and athletic directors put up a united front in support of expanding to 24 last week at that league's meetings in California, Sankey acknowledged that his league will not have the same unanimity, a fact that didn't seem to concern him. He's also not concerned that the three other power conference commissioners have come out in favor of doubling the size of the CFP from 12 to 24. Sankey said, doesn't bother me. People tell me that, but I don't know if you pay attention in college sports. Positions seem to change a lot. Eli Drinkwitz spoke yesterday, and he was asked about the topic at the meetings in Florida. Here is the Missouri head ball coach.
We're constantly changing. We're not allowing anything to stick and get into a rhythm or a routine in college football. And again, it feels like we're always chasing the next. And we have made some really good improvements to our calendar, how we operate, in the way things need to progress. And, you know, for me, it's like, how do you find a rhythm or a routine or right practices? How do you gather enough data? How do you look into your analytics if you don't allow something to grow over time? And so for me, like, you know, we just now got to one portal. Feels like it's going pretty good. We have the ability to have summer access with our football players, depending on how you want to use it. I just feel like it's in a good situation right now. I don't necessarily know why we would need to make a drastic change for change's sake. What would I fix? I think for there to be any fixes in college football, we have to get some sort of known part of the formula. The formula, whether it's the amount of times that people transfer, the amount of years that they're eligible, the amount of times that they go to the portal, not having contracts, everything just keeps exploding. You don't have a cap because you have players who can move every year, who have unlimited eligibility. So until one of those things becomes fixed, then it's going to continue to spiral out of control, and everything keeps ballooning. And that's perfectly fine. I think agents are doing their job. When they understood that there was no fixed market in third-party NIL was something that you could drive up, then they drove it up, which is what their job is. And so I just think until there's some sort of fixed deal there, you're going to continue to have a lot of uncertainty. So that's my thought.
Eli Drinkwitz, Doug, what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of with him on just about everything that he said. The portal needs more rules, more regulations, and stop changing things every year or two. Just find a system that most people like and seems to work, and hang with it for a while. The greed that is just smothering college football right now everything changes every year. It's hard to wrap your head around it and keep everything straight. So I'm with him. I'd like to see him find a system, hang with it, fix some of the things that are wrong with the transfer portal.
Source just texted me and said, for background, very close on bipartisan NIL legislation in Congress. And Ross Dellinger wrote details about that yesterday. The title of his column on Yahoo Sports, "With Issues Abound, Is Collective Bargaining a Viable Solution for College Sports?" And that is one of the hottest topics. Last week, near the steps of the U.S. Capitol, a scene unfolded that encapsulates the troublesome predicament in which college athletics finds itself. Flanked by the leader of a players' association, the president of the NAACP, and members of the Congressional Black Caucus, a college football player spoke into a microphone to deliver a message. Quote, "It is important that people hear what athletes have to say," said Jackson Burkett, a Temple offensive lineman. "It's important that we push for player representation and some kind of player union that gets us what we deserve," end quote. And not far away, while participating in a panel held by Democratic Congresswoman Lori Trahan, a group of women's basketball players unleashed a fury of comments directed at college leaders. One of them, some might contend, said the quiet part out loud. Quote, "I think it's time to come to the truth. We are employees," a Maryland women's hoops player from Boston and the Big Ten's Defensive Player of the Year said. College sports executives may claim that these players were used as tools for partisan lawmakers at a divisive time in American politics, but their message, schools should deem athletes employees and bargain with them, is beginning to gain traction at the highest levels of the industry, including within the SEC and its powerful group of university presidents, chancellors, and athletic directors. Quote, "I never thought I'd say it, but I'm there on employment. Let's collectively bargain." That is one of the SEC presidents told Ross Dellinger. So how about that?
Yeah.
A CBA.
That would... I went to school for sport management. This was kind of the stuff we would talk about in school. This has been like the topic that I've probably been the most passionate about sports-wise in my adult life, is that you absolutely need players to be able to collectively bargain, just like they do in all four major sports in America, with college athletics and the university. It's great to get them paid. I agree that there needs to be some sort of governor put on, that there needs to be some sort of payroll limit, but you have to talk about that with the athletes. Just deciding that arbitrarily without their input, to me, takes a step back in the progress that you've made, because obviously I think a lot of people think college athletes should be paid, and that's progress. But I think you take a step back if you just arbitrarily set their payroll, like how much they can possibly make without their input. I think it's crucial.
The days of considering college sports to be amateur athletics, those are long gone.
Yeah.
But there's still such a difference in a college football player and a basketball player, and then someone on one of the other sports.
For sure.
Because two of them are bringing in wild amounts of money, and everything else loses money.
No doubt. And all of that can be talked about. I just think it needs player input on it. It needs student, I guess no longer student athlete, but athlete input on it.
Yeah. I would just assume that there be some sort of structure where the colleges could handle this, and it didn't have to involve Congress. It just doesn't seem like this is a thing that our Congress people should be involved in. Aren't there more important things for them to deal with than how much a college athlete's going to be made?
I think that speaks to the fact that there isn't enough governance internally with the NCAA to get this done, because of the different conferences, because of the different sports and the media rights deals. It's kind of the Wild West.
Yeah, well, they need to get that figured out.
Agreed.
Your thoughts on the topic are welcome. Text in, call in, or talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. The crotchety boomer isn't embracing change. Shocker. That's from the Crestwood Coyote. And Doug, didn't you play Native American ball with his father?
I did.
I didn't think you were.
What change am I not embracing?
Yeah.
I'm saying I'd like to see the college football playoff system find a thing that most people agree on and stick with it for a while.
Crestwood Coyote, you can call in to elaborate. Doug Piglet says, "Here we go, Piglet. Tim, that's you. Everything is unfolding exactly as I have foreseen." Doug, is that a licking emoji?
I don't
smiley
know. It's
emoji.
not Denny Crum again, I hope.
And he had a long licker? Denny Crum did?
A nice licker.
A hell of a.
I 100% agree with Doug. If they get the government involved, they'll ruin it. That is from Stepdad Gary.
But you think the average American really cares about what college players are going to be making when we have so many other issues, so many other important issues that need to be taken care of by our government, by our Congress? It seems nuts to me that they take time out to deal with this.
Well, they have before. The NIL situation was taken care of by Congress.
I know. I don't think that's the appropriate place.
I agree
for it.
there are bigger issues, but just because there are bigger issues doesn't mean you need to neglect issues that currently preside over them. That is part of their jurisdiction, so therefore
it just seems like colleges in general ought to be able to govern themselves.
That I agree
without our elected officials stopping what they're doing.
It's pretty simple, but Dumbos are in charge. Let the money flow from donors to the kids. Private markets always figure it out. And tell Doug to quit his whining. Doug, that's from Mr. Licks. And he's a private equity guy?
I don't think so, no. I think he works at Mobile on the Run.
He also says, hey, Tim, I'm listening to yesterday's After the Morning After. I'm sorry you had to deal with a dog at Sato. You really shouldn't experience anything that you don't like. And I'm not sure why others haven't caught on to that. I'm also sorry that Jackson was okay with it if it was an emotional support dog, but that's socialism for you. I'll talk to the owner, Doug. That's Mr. Licks. And so that's kind of an illustration. For the record, I was not complaining. I was asking. Doug, I live in a little bubble. It's a meat and potatoes bubble. I only travel between Tam Avenue and Jameson, and that's it. And all I do is eat LeGrand's.
It's not a very big geographical area, is it?
But it gets me into St. Gabriel's Gym, and that's all I really care about.
Okay.
And so I was asking on After the Morning After yesterday if you guys had seen where people bring dogs into restaurants. Not complaining. I love the canines, but this was something happened when we went out to dinner on Saturday night, and I asked about it, and it was brought to our attention that these are emotional support dogs.
Of course.
I received an email yesterday from somebody who was in the restaurant industry and was a GM at a restaurant, matter of fact, on this topic from After the Morning After. And by the way, that's Sato, Doug. Bee's knees.
Don't play?
Oh, bee's knees.
Okay.
I mean, phenomenal. Major recommendation. Papers, would you get down there, see what's doing? Take one of these ladies that loves her new hair. Yeah, Sato, named after the uncle from Karate Kid Part 2.
Really not a big sushi guy, unfortunately. I wish I was.
I wouldn't really know what to order. I'd look at a menu and say, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just not really my thing. I lived walking distance from Sato for a year and a half.
And I got Adriana's and then wash it down with Sato.
Yeah, that's a good
one. Wash it down with Charlie G.
That's a great. What you do is you get a roast beef and salsita sandwich at Adriana's, swimming in sauce. Then you go have at least 6 pieces of nigiri at Sato, and then you wash all that down with the gnocchi at Charlie Gito's, and then you roll home. You find a nice downhill slope. You find a nice downhill slope, and you just barrel roll to your front door.
I can't help but think if you're a sushi aficionado, you might not be a meat and potatoes guy.
What are you trying to say?
Sushi's meat.
Awfully fancy,
but it's meat.
A meat and potatoes guy keeps it to meatloaf and a baked potato. That's your dinner.
And maybe slight variations on it.
Not much.
Pork chops.
Could possibly be a little pork in there.
Yeah. Lyonnaise potatoes. Like a scalloped potato.
As long as it's potatoes and a chunk of meat.
Guys, when I was the GM of, and this person gives the restaurant, I would have people bring their dogs in and sit them under the table. I saw the dogs, and before I could say anything, they said, it's my emotional support dog, and you can't ask me to see the paperwork.
Oh, God.
It's illegal, and I could get fined if I asked them. This was between 2017 and 2020. I ran a couple of different restaurants, and I actually looked it up, and they were correct. We are not allowed to see paperwork because it is some sort of HIPAA violation. I'm not sure if the laws changed, but back then they could bring them in. And that was sent to me by a listener. And again, I want to make it clear, this was not a complaint. I was just surprised, and I was like, oh, is this something, as a meat and potatoes guy who only goes to meatloaf restaurants.
Right. There's not enough of them either.
Thank you.
And I'm sure no one would ever abuse that and try to get away with a dog that wasn't really an emotional. How much emotional support do most people need to go to a restaurant?
Jackson, do you have the numbers?
Now, I'm sure there are some. I'm sure there's some rare occasions where yes, a person needs this. I bet most of the time, not so much the case.
I wasn't necessarily saying that like I was okay with it because of emotional support, but I was like more understanding. So like I understand likely there's some sort of legal deal where a restaurant can't turn that person down, or that would be the reasoning. I, of course, would not be like fired up that there is a dog under the seat of this nice restaurant I'm eating at.
It just seems like it'd be a health code violation. Are we worried about the other people in the restaurant?
Yeah, as long as it's not in the kitchen, I guess you're probably okay. You know, I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't need the Air Bud version of like the bear. Or
hold on a second, Air Bud version of the bear, Doug. That was 2 shows referenced, and I don't follow. Air Bud, of course, played basketball. Great player.
Yeah. Like if you discovered your golden retriever,
the bear
made an outstanding
final season coming up, right?
Yeah. Season 5 will be the final season.
But if a dog is walking through a restaurant and hair's falling off the dog, as it often does, and a long-haired dog could get on other people's food or other people's clothing, they don't have any rights.
I could make the argument that someone, not me after my visit to Healthcare Evolution, but a human's hair can fall out just as easily and
not as easily as a dog.
Do you have your
shed?
Do you when you get your food? Do you take your plate and keep it about 3 feet above the ground and just to let it sit there for a second?
But
you're more likely to get someone walking by with their hair above your plate and fall in. Here I am making a point for dogs. Like
there is a reason why this was very much illegal for 100 years in this country. People don't really want animals around their food.
I'll be pro dog in this case. That's cool with me.
Well, nobody loves dogs more than me, but I don't take it to a restaurant.
Could have fooled me.
Wow. Look at Papers taking the side of the dog community. What a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like the Lorax for the canines.
100% okay with service dogs wherever they are needed. With that said, the obsession with bringing dogs to bars is the freaking worst.
Oh.
Damn mutts everywhere. No one thinks your dog's cute. Get that stupid thing away from me. Doug, that's from Beer Cats.
They're bringing them to bars now.
Yeah, that's always been my contention, is that I think it's a kind of a nuanced take, because I think dog culture is one of the few things in this world that truly brings people of all different races and religions together, their love of dogs and their appreciation of this animal. And at the same time, I think we've gone too far with where we allow dogs to roam.
Good conversation starter, though, at a bar.
Sure. And there's times like go to Tam I talk about Tam Avenue, that back patio, there's a ton of dogs out there.
Is that right?
It's a good vibe. It's never really a problem.
Do you think it's like a conversation starter to see what the word is, if you know what I mean?
I think Chairman Kurt might speak to that better.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chairman Kurt, who is lost his arms.
I mean, it's cold. It's not that cold.
I just looked over and the gentleman had no arms.
I usually run hot, but I am absolutely frigid.
We walked in here this morning and we're just like, Doug, they're trying to smoke us out of our holes. They're trying to smoke us out of our holes.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
That it's a conversation starter when you bring a dog to a bar or an establishment.
Yeah, and I've taken Monty to the patio on Tam Avenue Bar.
Have you?
And as much of a dog lover as I am, I was on the side of
Beer Cats.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but when you told the story yesterday, I thought that was a bit too much. And there's no doubt that people are cheating the system, and I've seen and heard of people that claim they're animals or support animals, and they're not. So I don't know what the fix is, but I would not bring my dog inside a restaurant.
Beer Cats needs to heed his own advice and stop bringing his crotch goblin to bars. Doug, that's from Mrs. Jenny Shannon. He has a crotch goblin?
I do hate a crotch dog. They're a little taller and they go right for the crotch.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, hate a crotch dog.
Well, we do have a culture where a lot of people believe they're somehow a victim. So I have to have a dog to go to a restaurant because I couldn't possibly handle it mentally without my dog at a restaurant. Again, I'm sure there are a few exceptions, but for the most part, I think it's kind of a look at me, or I don't want to leave the dog at home.
I understand some people legitimately need a support dog and the good they can do. But in reality, about 90% are people whose parents likely celebrated every participation trophy they ever received in their life. Doug, that's Carlos Spicy.
Yeah, I'm with him on that. I'm with him.
Jackson, you were talking yesterday about dogs that are trained to do like medical care and stuff. I've seen dogs that can like do the first like chest compressions when somebody goes down. Like,
holy crap!
Yeah,
really?
like, it's wild, and they sense when a seizure or when
they can
something's
smell,
coming.
right? Like someone in the YouTube chat yesterday during After the Morning After said that they can smell when someone's like a diabetic would need insulin and can go grab their insulin.
Yeah, and I've seen dogs trying to
Incredible.
open refrigerators to get things out to take to the owner. So the ones that are cheating the system are ruining it for the ones that really need it.
I saw a story on dogs that can smell cancer in your body before even the medical people can.
Wow.
I don't know how much that's used, or I didn't hear anything after that, but it was a pretty incredible story.
Alan Dadeville says Sharon's about to log off the multi-level marketing quarterly #keep grinding call and text in to remind us that dogs are better than kids, and those of us with kids should stop taking them out in public too. Doug, that's Alan Dadeville. But I have to tell you, he was right. Sharon and Clayton was about to text in. 2 minutes later, there was a text from Sharon and Clayton, and she says, if you're stable enough to be able to go out to a restaurant to eat, then you don't need to bring a dog to help you through it. And I'm the biggest dog lover out there. Look at that, Sharon and Clayton and Alan Dadeville finding common ground.
Right. I agree with Sharon on that one.
I bet Papers takes his cat to Bricktops.
Oh, you don't.
I don't have a cat.
If you did, would you take it?
What was the name of your cat? I thought he has
Kitty Bates is what has been taken. I said Catty Bates. That would be the cat name. But I hate to say it, like kind of, I guess, anti-domesticated animal of any kind. Like I don't really have any. I've never had pets.
At any part of your life, you never had a dog?
I had a fish when I was a kid.
Doesn't count.
And it died, and I was really nonplussed by it. My parents were like, do you want to get another one? I was like, not really. It's kind of a pain in the ass to clean the tank.
But it'd be different if it was a dog that had some personality.
I mean, I've said it before, but
Fish don't give a lot back.
I grew up scared of dogs. Like I did. I don't know why it was, but that's just how it was. You can make fun of me all you want for it. It's how I grew up. Sorry.
314-399-9646. Jackson inviting.
I'm sure people will be very understanding of it, but that was the case. So the idea of having a dog would be like my own personal hell in my home. So that was never going to happen. My dad's allergic to cats.
Same here.
Yeah. So that was never going to happen.
Broke up a relationship for me.
So I don't have I have no kind of affection towards the animal.
Except fish.
No, I don't care about fish. I don't want to have a fish either. I don't want to have any pets.
Because you were nonplussed?
Yeah, I would be open the idea down the line of like significant other wants a pet. Okay, I could probably deal with it under the right circumstances. I think dachshunds, the wiener dogs, are delightful. And
really?
Very cute. Incredibly cute. That would, if I were to get a dog, it'd be that.
My daughter is autistic and mentally handicapped. It rips me that people use the system to get away with what is our necessity. Our dog is completely needed. Those people who do abuse the system need a slap to the back of the head. Doug, that's from Marsha's collage program.
Yeah. Somebody always wants to take advantage of the system. It's not a big deal. It's not, you're not ripping anybody off or anything. You're not committing fraud of any kind. It's just not, it seems like it's not terribly polite or thoughtful to the rest of the people at a restaurant to bring your dog in if you don't need it.
That's what I was wondering if this has just become commonplace. Like I stayed down in the Ritz-Carlton of Columbia for Missouri games last year, and we had a dog barking next to us. And I'm like, the hell's that?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's an emotional support dog. I'm like, okay, so this is just kind of the thing. You just say it's an emotional support animal. And this is what Marsha's collage program, their family needs it, is referencing. And then it's just a way to just take your dog with you.
Yeah. That's what it's become for a lot of people.
You're welcome to text in as well, 314-399-9646. Talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. And, of course, you can email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email today. Coming up on the polosplus.com dossier at 9:45. Polos Plus sponsor the dossier, and now the place where you can get your TMA merch. You like this hat I'm wearing? Anybody else got any Polos Plus on? Chairman Kurt, you need like a parka. You need a TMA parka now.
I actually did get this plain tee from Polos Plus.
How about
You
that?
can also go grab, if you're really cold, I have my fleece jacket from Polos Plus.
How about that?
TMA logo. It's black. It's perfect.
If I had that women's cardigan from Polos Plus, I'd be just fine.
Yeah.
It's a nice look, Doug. There's a women's line. You go to polosplus.com. There is a TMA tab right when you go there. And tip of the cap to Andrew Hubbard and Corey Lawson and everybody at Polo's Plus. And then our designer, she's done a wonderful job. Got the Navy Caps on the Road t-shirt, the TMA hats. They're in a variety of different styles. You got a rope hat, trucker hat, whatever, Imperial hats. That's a great brand of hats. Adidas, Nike, Travis Matthew, Carhartt. They got all this stuff and all these different brands. That's what Polos Plus does. PolosPlus.com. The TMA tab is there for all your TMA merch, plus the Navy Caps on the Road t-shirt. And I believe we're going to have after the Morning After stuff that Andrew is working on as well. So that's all at PolosPlus.com. The program's called The Morning After, 101 ESPN. At Michael's Baths, they create elevated bathroom spaces that blend luxury, comfort, and smart design, all tailored to the way you live. From sleek tub to shower conversions to full high-end bathroom remodels, including paint and electrical, Michael's Baths handles every detail. They're online at michaelsbaths.com, or you can call them 636-775-0800. michaelsbaths.com. That's who Martin is using right now for a bathroom renovation at his home. With 30 years of experience, all 5-star reviews, an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and VA recommended, Michael's Baths delivers craftsmanship you can trust without gimmicks or high-pressure sales. This isn't a temporary fix or a quick cover-up. It's a complete transformation built to last and built to add value to your home. Go to michaelsbaths.com or call 636-775-0800 and ask about their financing options, including 0% interest upon approval. Michael's Baths, family-owned, insured, and where everyday bathrooms become something exceptional. What do you think? It's Chili's birthday or T-Boss's?
I don't know.
Left Eye, of course, no longer with us. I'm going to go Chili. Oh, it's Left Eye.
Left
okay.
Eye's birthday. Unfortunately, passed away in 2002.
And she would have been 50 today. Should have been 55 today.
Yes. Should have been 55.
Doug, Mount Rushmore TLC songs.
Oh, I couldn't give you one.
Red Light Special.
What about the one we're listening to right now?
Okay, that one.
No Scrubs, for sure, got to be in there. Waterfall.
Of course.
And that was, of course, performed in We're the Millers.
Yeah. You like that movie?
It's always on.
It
What I've
is.
realized about my YouTube TV subscription, which I can't watch Cardinals or Blues games on, is I basically am just buying Blockbuster Video from 2007.
Yeah, there's these
There's nothing else.
These late 2000s to early 2010s comedies that I guess people have a much stronger affinity for than I do. We're the Millers is one of them. Horrible Bosses is another one.
Yeah.
That I've
These
just,
are all Jennifer Aniston pictures.
yeah, they are. They're just, and Sudeikis as well. They're just not what I find to be the best. Like, We're the Millers is fine. Not much there.
Doesn't sound like it's going to get its own movie, boy.
No, I think there are better comedies from that era. This Is the End. You ever seen This Is the End? One of the funniest movies I've ever seen. Dana McBride. Oh, my God.
Eastbound and Down, Doug.
He's so funny.
You like Eastbound and Down?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, settle in.
I think if you're making a Mount Rushmore of funniest human beings since 2000, it's got to be Dan McBride, Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Then dealer's choice, really.
John
Those two.
Candy, was he before that?
He died before 2000, didn't he?
Yeah, like 92-ish.
Yeah.
93-ish.
So unfortunately, he's not eligible.
No.
Heiser House Hooligan says Left Eye doesn't have a birthday. Jesus.
What does
That's
that
what he
mean?
said. Well, if you're dead, you don't have a birthday.
Well, I mean, it would have been her birthday.
Would you like to apologize to Heiser House Hooligan?
Yeah, a real. You alley-ooped it to yourself there. Wemby putting it back on your own mess.
Crutch Goblin usually refers to children. My child, who goes to the bar with me, is of drinking age. So Mrs. Janie Shanahan or whoever sent that in can lick. No, right there. I gotta stop.
No, stop it. Yeah.
The lick was fine. It was the direct object that was going to be problematic for the Federal Communications Commission. Candy died at 94. From
Okay.
Jonathan Titsworthy.
All right.
Okay. I think we were talking about Left Eye.
I just think he's one of the funniest actors that I've seen.
Who?
John Candy.
Oh, I thought we were talking about TLC. Jesus.
I know he's dead. I know that.
That's cool. I'm with it. Jeffrey Tambor might need to enter into the conversation.
Jeffrey Tambor needs to enter into the conversation on Lisa Left Eye Lopez. Why?
No, funniest people since 2000. I know he did a lot of works before 2000.
You better believe it. Mr. Mom, of course, often referenced on this program, and Larry Sanders Show, greatest show of all time.
But he had Arrested Development after that.
No.
That was funny as again.
What about Chappelle? It's from Aux 5.
Yeah, I'm thinking more. I guess Chappelle's been in a lot of movies. I'm thinking like comedic actors.
No mention of Paul Rudd? Come on, Papers. Why are you wasting Tim's investment in good or bad? Come on, man. It's from the 314.
Not on my big board. Not on my big board. Although his performance in Forgetting Sarah Marshall is very strong. Kunu.
Kunu, Doug.
You ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
No.
It's one of your favorites, right, Chairman? Hilarious.
If I could only watch one movie for the rest of time, it's Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
It's a great play.
I see Live Golf is looking for investors. Is that Licks guy going to throw some of his dad's father-in-law's money at that worthless investment, Doug? That's from Beer Cats. Are you interested in investing in Live Golf?
I'm not.
Okay.
I am not.
Doesn't seem like you're really considering it.
I'm
either.
not at the point where I should be taking very risky investments.
You don't think that's a blue chip?
No.
That is a real private equity vest you got on, though. I'll say
That
that.
is.
I keep it here just for moments like this when you walk in the studio.
Chairman
It's 40
Kurt,
degrees.
Chairman Kurt has gotten Jackson. Is that a polo? That is Polos
yeah.
Plus. I see the TMA logo on
Yeah,
there.
Under Armour.
He's got the hoodie up, too.
Yeah. Isn't that warm?
It is very nice.
Shout out
I
to
don't know
Post
what's
Plus.
going on. I usually run hot. I'm pitting out of these shirts, but I need a snuggle today, Doug.
Well, you have to look elsewhere. Sorry.
That's being a bad teammate, just so you know.
Okay.
Email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email that it's coming up in about 25 minutes. Guys, Digging on You is a great TLC song. Doesn't get enough flowers. That's Sharon and Clayton.
Okay. Did we play that?
No, we played No Scrubs. TLC's a little before my time, so I only know like the big hits. Which is wrong of me. I should dive deeper
Give it more
into that.
flowers.
That goes back to more show prep. That incest bred moron referring to me as the crotch goblin. That's from Little Beer Cats. The Beer Cats family is activated right now in the air comfort service.
They're arguing with each other?
I don't know. I just read what's in the prompt, or maybe mad at Mrs. Jenny Shanahan for referring to him as a crotch goblin, saying that Beer Cats is mad that dogs are being brought to bars, but then Mrs. Jenny Shanahan says Beer Cats needs to stop bringing his crotch goblin.
You shouldn't bring your kids to the bar. I feel like
Is that right? I was sitting around on Memorial Day having some delicious, delicious libations, and I was trying to get my kids to take a poll.
I think that there's certain places where you can it's a bar and they have stuff for kids, you can hang out outside and do stuff. I had stuff like that when I was growing up. But if you're really looking to, tie one on, probably best to leave the children at home. I don't know. I don't have kids. I shouldn't assume.
If it's just a bar, they can't.
Well,
even
if it's
get
a
in.
restaurant where you can also have some beverages.
Well, that's almost every restaurant.
Right. But the one where you would really want to, pack a few in.
Read my text, Tim. This isn't the Warson Woods Sharon from Clayton Beer Cats show. That's from Uncle BK.
Okay, sorry, I didn't like the attitude. He's been suspended.
Gone. Just like that.
No, you don't type in all capital letters and say, read my text. Sorry, you got yourself suspended. Uncle BK.
Uncle BK. You think that's BK? BK
have
Ferrario?
Been suspended. You've been suspended a period of 2 days' time. And your name, as we speak, is going into the appliance discounters suspension logule. No, I don't expect it does feel very good. It's not supposed to.
Yeah, that's what it's designed for.
It's punitive.
Appliance discounters sponsor the suspension logule. Dr. Brandon Pryor sponsor at TMA. You guys may know Dr. Pryor from 100 West Dental, and now he can help you out with sleep as well. He treats sleep apnea with custom oral appliances, an alternative to a CPAP. So no mask, no machine for the right candidate. If you think you might have a sleep issue or you've already been diagnosed, they will do a complimentary consultation to see if it's a fit. At least go get checked, because bad sleep really catches up with you. You're not performing at 100% if you're not sleeping right at work, in the gym, anywhere. Visit 100westdental.com and go see Dr. Pryor. His offices are on Manchester and Baldwin. Papers was just out there last week.
It was just out there.
I got to get out there again.
Oh, it's so cool, man.
That's a hell of an
The imaging they do with your mouth, they show you everything.
Yeah.
It's like a complete comprehensive look at your entire, not just your teeth, but your jaw and everything around it. It's incredible.
It's a great thing. Dr. Brandon Pryor, 100 West Dental, and now they can also help you out with sleep issues. Anybody seen anything on the Cardinals or Brewers lineup, or any Brewers pitchers yet? I have not, but...
No on the Brewers pitchers. They just announced the Cardinal pitchers for the 3 games in St. Louis against the Cubs.
What do you got there, Papers? What do you got?
Leahy Friday, Palante Saturday, Liberatore on Sunday. All 3. Not ideal necessarily, but, who knows. But let's see if they got a Brew Crew lineup out.
And we are hoping for Abner Uribe leading things off today.
Yeah. Take a bet.
It looks like they're expecting Chad Patrick to start for Milwaukee.
No lineup for either team yet.
Doug's got Chad Patrick. You don't.
It just
what are
says
you looking
expected.
On? Okay. Would that just, I guess, following the rotation, probably?
I guess.
Chad Patrick's pitching for the Brew Crew. That's from Jenna, another female listener, but her last name is Tolles. They're talking about a possibility of an opener for Chad Patrick, is what I'm seeing on the Twitter tweets today. So these openers can throw off these things. Miles Michaelis, the former Cardinal, he enjoys an opener these days. David Peterson of the Mets, they've been going with an opener for him. Guys, Chad Patrick was an extra in Saved by the Bell. That's from the 618.
Was he really?
All right.
Same guy?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite member?
Now.
Who's your favorite member of Saved by the Bell?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen, although, of course, we had Dustin Diamond in studio on this show.
Yeah.
You dressed up as, yeah.
What was that?
Someone was wearing a football helmet or something?
I believe I wore a football helmet. Martin wore a monocle. And the cat dressed up like a Civil War soldier. Or maybe I was the Civil War soldier and the cat wore a football helmet.
Just for that interview.
But you weren't on, YouTube or anything.
Well, I've always found prop comedy for the people hosting the show that no one can see to be the highest form.
Yeah. Prop bit comedy on an audio-only medium.
In 2004.
Yeah. the former star of a teen show that I play on Saturday mornings.
That's right. That's correct. Hey, that's how I put food on the table.
I get it. I get it.
Thank you. Patrick will throw a 90-pitch game. Brewers win 3-0. That's from Dirty Chewbacca. So that's a time traveler, Doug. So now we can go bet that score. And he's saying that the Cardinals are going to mail this one in and head back to St. Louis in the midst of a losing streak.
No, I don't think they can afford to mail this one in. They might look like they're mailing it in, but I think the effort will be there.
The story from last night's game, which we certainly talked about quite a bit in the opening hour, which is brought to you by Healthcare Evolution, online at healthcareevolution.com. And if you missed it, go back and podcast on the YouTube chat to see Jackson's hair growth since going to Healthcare Evolution, the before and the after, healthcare-evolution.com. It took place last night in the 8th inning. Alec Burleson up. This is Abner Uribe, Brewers reliever, and Chip Carey on the call.
Hit the lever pail.
Strike 3 call. Burleson's going to challenge it. Cardinals have 2 of them left. Oh, look at Uribe. See that? You better hope this is a strike. Oh, it was. And Burleson is retired, and the Cardinals strand 2 in the 8th inning.
No.
That was a full chop, too, by the way.
Oh, a couple of chops.
He got his money's worth. Like, that was not, because, like, Juan Soto did the thing in the 2019 playoffs where he was grabbing his crotch, and that was kind of like his thing a little bit. Michaelis got him back for it. This was, I am doing this in the middle of the field. Everyone's going to see me. There's no way I could hide this. I am chopping my crotch.
I think sometimes guys just lose it for a second, and probably 10 seconds later they think, what the hell did I do? Remember when A-Rod knocked somebody's hand down? He was trying to catch a ball. Remember that?
Yeah. That was Game 7 of the 2003 NLCS.
Yeah. I'm sure he thought,
or ALCS.
What did I just do?
Right. Agreed. Yeah, they're like, you see red for a second, and you're so fired up that you might just do anything.
This is Abner Uribe's explanation. Doug, he does not speak English, so his translator spoke. Jackson edited out Espanol. Here is the translator speaking for Abner Uribe.
Abner, can you explain just kind of what you were thinking or feeling out there to react the way that you did?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, everyone here knows me and knows who I am and knows I have a bit of a history of being emotional out there. But again, I think first I owe an apology to the Brewers. I owe an apology to my teammates, to my manager, all the bosses of the team. I understand that that's unacceptable to go out there and to react in a way like that. But at the same time, I don't think it's professional for their manager to be making signs towards our dugout saying that he's going to be hitting guys. And there's an event that occurred during the practice today too, and I don't think that was right. So I have my teammates back always.
What happened? That event with the Cardinals earlier.
I don't have any comments towards that.
And then also things during the game he was signaling?
Yes, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Signaling that they were going to hit your guys?
Yeah, that was the sign he was doing. Every time Yelly or Williams stepped up to the plate, that's a gesture he was making in the dugout.
Does that go back to the previous series with them, Abner? Was there history there?
No, I don't necessarily think so. The type of person I am and how I think. I take things very much day to day. But at the same time, when, like I said, I don't think it's very professional for them to be making gestures like that, and I don't think it's right for any of my guys to be going out there with any sort of fear in their heads that we may be getting thrown at or they can't play the game the way that they want to be able to play. So I want to make sure it's also clear that my teammates in here know that I have their back and I'm on their side.
So that is the translator on behalf of Abner Uribe. Explaining what was going on. He said something happened in the pregame and then also in the first game of the series. Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, did not necessarily agree with what his players said.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Yeah, it's just unacceptable. I don't know what got over him. I mean, he's been an emotional guy, but that kind of thing, that's just not how we do things, and I was embarrassed by it. And why are we doing it? It's 6-0 game. What are we doing there? And there must be something deeper that I don't know about. I love the kid. Believe me, I love the kid. There's so much good in this kid. He's been so great for us in so many ways, but that's unacceptable. So whatever's going on, He can't tolerate that for his teammates and for everything else. It's just not. It's not going to be tolerated. That's all there's to it.
So no corroboration of any events before the workout or during the workout of yesterday's game or from game one of the series from Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager.
If he's been overly emotional before, if Mike Shannon were doing the game last night, he would have said, "Oh, Abner's done it again."
Nice.
He used to say that every time the other team would have the meat of the order coming up in the ninth.
I enjoyed that.
Said it every time.
Yeah.
"Oh, Abner's done it again."
Yeah. And I'm crowdsourcing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Cardinals did not hit anybody in the past 2 games in Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe they had anyone who's even hit accidentally.
No,
otherwise.
I don't think so.
Right. And yet to hear anyone corroborate that Marmol was making signs. And Doug, what would those signs look like to hit somebody?
I have no idea. Just hit him right in the head. I guess you punch yourself in the head. Hit him in the head.
Yeah, that'd be a great way to be suspended if there was video of you doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe he would have done that.
LOL. Crotch chops at the other team to show your teammates that you have their back. Doug, that's from John Boy in Indiana.
Right.
Richard Scott Thomas, right?
It's as though if you didn't do the crotch chop, you wouldn't have your teammates back.
Right. They'd be furious with you in the dugout.
You have to do it. I'd almost like to see that after every strikeout.
I mean, Kenny Powers did that. We were talking about Kenny Powers and Eastbound and Down. Kenny Powers did that.
Yeah, that's what made it it's so wild watching the video. Like, he really does it. Like, he stands there staring at the Cardinal bench, full arms extended. Like, there's no confusing that with, just passion. That's like, no, this was directed at you.
Yeah.
So a pitcher in a bullpen is staring into the Cardinal dugout all game? Cool story, bro. That's from the Heiser House Hooligan.
Yeah, it's not really passing the sniff test over here.
It is questionable. Your thoughts are welcome. Text in, call in, talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat at the TMA STL YouTube channel. And, of course, email in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day coming up in about 10 minutes here on the Polos Plus dossier, polosplus.com, where you can get your TMA merch. There is a tab right at the top of the page, and you can see it all. Hats, T-shirts, hoodies, quarter zips, and the Navy Caps on the Road T-shirt. It's all there, polosplus.com. Nothing wrong with the celebration. Teams celebrate with crotch movements all the time. It's just sports. Doug and Big Blonde Dan included a GIF of the San Francisco Giants, who are now, including former Cardinal Harrison Bader, rubbing their crotches together after they win games.
Oh, that was a little weird.
You're getting close to kink shaming, just so you know.
Well, I do kink shame.
The MLB kink shamed when they asked him to stop doing it, which I thought was wrong. I said,
wrong to ask him to stop doing it?
I think you can go after Manfred for so many things, but kink shaming is supreme in my list of complaints.
So you'd like to see players just do whatever the hell they want to do on the field?
Whatever makes them, as long as you're not, showing up to your team. I don't know. I'm just.
You don't think rubbing your crotches together is showing up the other team?
You do in the outfield, it was like a 3-way hug.
I think it's showing you have your teammates' backs.
Yeah. Or their fronts.
Guys, what if that clown said something in the post-game interview so stupid that the interpreter was just making something up because he was panicking? That's from Grady.
I've always thought that would be a really fun, sitcom, is like a pro sports interpreter who, just is so jaded and goes rogue when a player answers a question just to stir up some controversy, and the guy just stands there smiling, nodding his head. Because I think Uribe speaks a little bit of English, but I understand athletes not wanting, especially in the situation that's controversial, to mix any words up or misunderstand a question, and when in doubt, use a translator. I get that.
Presenting sponsor of this program is Brown & Crouppen, online at getbc.com or by calling 314-222-2222. Founded here in St. Louis in 1979, and here they are 45 plus years later, taking care of the St. Louis community and a big part of the St. Louis community. That's Brown & Crouppen, online at getbc.com or call 314-222-2222. After an accident, money's tight. And that's why Brown & Crouppen offers so much for free. You can always call for free any day, anytime. Your first consultation's always free. They come to you for free, whether it's at home or in the hospital. Brown & Crouppen, it won't cost too much. You pay nothing up front, and they never get paid unless you do. When you're a client, all questions are answered for free. If you think you may need Brown & Crouppen services, call 314-222-2222 or go to getbc.com. Make sure you let them know you heard about them on TMA. That's our title sponsor Brown and Crouppen. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord. Guys, Ohtani's translator went rogue, just not in that fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, what would you rather have?
I would rather some guy make up something about me.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And gamble on the sport you're playing.
Yeah. With your money?
Yeah.
All right. We got the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today coming up here on the program. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That's the polosplus.com dossier. This is TMA.
TMA is proud to be sponsored by Stiefel. They also sponsor the Cardinals, the Blues, the Stiefel Charity Classic, the Stiefel Theater, the USA National Ski Team. Just a fabulous corporate partner here in St. Louis. It's true, good things come to those who wait. At Stiefel, great things come from knowing when to act. For 135 years, Stiefel has helped individuals, families, and business owners make thoughtful financial decisions. Founded in St. Louis in 1890, Stiefel combines deep local roots with national capabilities. From customized wealth management to investment banking and traditional banking, Stiefel delivers fully integrated solutions designed for complex financial lives, whether you're growing, preserving, or transitioning wealth. That same long-term mindset is why Stiefel proudly supports TMA, because they know success is all about timing and knowing when the moment is actually the moment. Investing, banking, and advising. Stiefel, where success meets success. Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
like that.
So Jason Alexander, he was in that McDLT commercial.
Well,
Am I right about that?
About 85, 86, you think?
Yeah.
I don't know the years.
Why'd that go? That's a good idea. I think
The McDLT.
Right, so you keep the cold ingredients, your lettuce, tomato, on one side of the container, your hot stuff on the other side, and then you add it yourself. I think that's a great idea.
You want to bring back the McDLT?
Yeah, I think it's because there's nothing worse than a hot tomato sitting on your burger, hot lettuce.
I got a burger last night from a place that we talk about here on the show. You want to guess where I got the burger from?
Bellagio?
That's right.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have said a place we talk about on the show. I gave it away. It was bad. And it was delectable. And I got the waffle fries too, Doug.
Nice.
Oh, did you really? Nice. Just threw caution to the wind.
I did.
Did you go there or you take it out?
I picked it up, so I guess that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I don't just dine out by myself. Part of that is the security that's you saw the guys sitting behind Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce at the Cavs game.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have to wear some sort of veil to protect
I do wear a veil. That's funny that you brought that up. I walked in a veil in the village.
Yeah. And your own velvet rope. Like Marshawn Lynch.
I swear, the evening I saw Michael Jordan, Charles Oakley, and I can't recall who else was with them, at the Westin in downtown St. Louis, right across from Busch Stadium, and word had gotten out that Jordan was there, and he was eating at that restaurant at the Westin, that there was nobody else in the restaurant at this point. It's like 10:30 at night. And Oakley and Jordan and like two other people are sitting at this table, a velvet rope around them, and people just staring at them like it's the zoo.
Yeah, that's
And
terrible.
it was packed with people just staring. And they just kept going. Because I guess Jordan's so used to it.
Yeah, right.
But he's just like, screw it. I'm not going to go. I don't want to go anywhere, so we're just going to sit here and do this.
Oh, man.
And anyway, that was like me last night at the Village, except I had a veil on.
How could you just stand there and stare at them?
I agree. Really weird. And that's probably before camera phones, so it's not like...
Oh, yeah.
So you have no proof of it. It's just like, hey, man, what'd you do last night? I watched Michael Jordan and Charles Oakley eat a chicken parm. Weird. Weird, yeah. I aspire to something similar to that, where it's like Tony Soprano.
You want to be a zoo animal.
No, I want to be like Tony Soprano, eating in a restaurant that's, I guess, open, but somehow he's the only person there, and then take all my meetings there while having a big plate of pasta.
And gabagool.
Yeah.
Take your meetings.
Yeah. I'll just take my meetings at the restaurant. You can come sit down. I'll have, for whatever reason, always a fresh plate of pasta in front of me, and I'll pick at it while you tell me your problem.
So you want to go to the Bada Bing?
Well, I guess that would have been Vesuvio. But I wouldn't,
Doug, was that Artie Bucco?
Yeah, already had.
And then the mom from A Bronx Tale?
Yeah, that's her name.
Patty McDonald, I think, is her name.
No, Catherine Narducci, I believe, is her name. And pretty good. Damn good, I'll say. Really good in Bronx Tale and good in Sopranos.
So where are you taking your meetings now?
Yeah.
That's
I assume Log Cabin Men's Card Room.
I think the reason I don't have many meetings to take is I don't have a venue. I think once I get the venue,
then you're going to have the meetings.
The meetings will just start rolling.
Okay.
They'll just start rolling in.
Chicken and egg. Guys, Jackson is Vito. Thanks. That's from the Kroenke hater. Oh, yeah, Johnny Cakes.
Man.
Is that the guy who had to excuse himself to go, like, to New Hampshire or something?
Yeah, Live Free or Die was the name of the episode.
Different sort of
He
relationship.
had to excuse himself. It was
That's a great way to say it.
It was some sort of personal crisis. Yeah, nothing external there.
Guys, I work at the casino. And when others are watching others gamble and play, I yell at them, this isn't the Free St. Louis Zoo. It's $5 to the dealers. That's from the 636.
$5 to watch?
Clip that off, yes.
To watch people play cards cost you $5?
I would just walk away.
Is that what he just said?
I would just walk away.
John Kelly came by to watch me play in the World Series of Poker about a decade ago.
Really? Did he spend $5?
I didn't charge him. I loved his calls.
Okay. But other people would have to pay up.
Probably so.
Yeah.
If you're not calling either Blues or Cardinals games, I'm going to charge you to watch me fold cards at the Rio.
It's a tribute.
Yeah. Those people staring at MJ all those years ago have now found emotional support ferrets. That's from Heiser House Hooligan.
So. Probably so. You couldn't help but say, oh, there's Michael Joy. You couldn't help but do that. But you can't help standing there just staring at him.
Yeah. I'd like to hear more from autograph seekers, like adult autograph seekers, who I guess
probably
don't
not
sell.
Our audience, to be honest with you.
Likely, but
kind of in parentheses, hope not.
Yeah, well, maybe someone in the audience knows somebody who does it.
Yeah,
because Russell Crowe was in the news yesterday for signing stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. He was a little frustrated.
He's just kind of being like, "Hey, everyone, stay where you are. Like, be cool. I'll sign everything, but as soon as someone's like being Richard, I'm out." And someone asked him after they signed some like poster of Gladiator, "Can you sign it Maximus?" And he goes, "No."
Yeah, he wasn't interested.
He was like, "No, I will not be doing that."
Doesn't it seem like having a selfie with a person would be better than an autograph?
But that's the thing, is you can't sell a selfie. I think the adult autograph seeker is looking to move this product. I agree.
Someone else.
I agree. I think it's a lot of like silent auction stuff, like people like rounding up stuff for silent auctions, and it's like, I need a signed poster of Gladiator from Russell Crowe. This could get me however much money from some charity or some cause that has a silent auction.
Good text here. The subject of the Blues needing a second-line center. Nobody's talking about Zach Dean. Wouldn't it be great if the Barbie for Dean turned out like the Tage Thompson for O'Reilly turned out for Buffalo? So it was 618.
Well, we were just talking about that about 3 months ago.
What's a rob-off means?
Okay, we don't need to entertain that sort of comment.
He takes meetings in the woods in a cabin with those nicknamed douchebags, either underneath of them or on top of them. That's from Chairman Steve in Des Moines.
I wouldn't mind having like some sort of cabin where I take my meetings. A little ominous.
What sort of meetings do you have?
I don't know. I'm telling you, once I get the venue, then they're going to start rolling in.
You don't even know the subject of these meetings?
Well, just sit down, people tell me their problems, see if I can handle it.
Well, you are kind of like a Don, huh?
I'm thinking about it.
Wow, you're thinking about becoming a boss.
People have told me a lot that I look like Ralphie, Joey Pantaleone.
Ooh, he had an unfortunate.
Well, he had a real tough couple seasons, especially a tough ending. But
what happened to him?
You've seen the show. Ralphie?
Spoiler alert!
The blonde, I'm not going to say it.
Well, what show are we talking about now?
Sopranos.
I forget the one that was Ralphie.
Blonde head, Joe Pantoliano.
Is he the one that Tony beat up in the kitchen? Was that him?
Yes.
Well, don't say that like it's a spoiler. The show was on 20 years ago.
Okay, yes.
Approaching 30.
Okay.
They would bring in like a new character every season, and likely that person is going to see the end of it.
Come and get your whooping.
Richie Aprile. You saw with Steve Buscemi as Tony Blundetto, and Ralphie as well. Although Ralphie, I think, lasted a couple seasons.
And he took the strap?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not going to kink shame, so that's something that we're going to keep an eye on here. Doug, Cardinal lineup's out.
Okay.
Natural transition.
What about Zach Dean? Shouldn't we be talking about him?
Step 1, get venue for meeting. Step 2, question mark. Step 3, profits. That's from Mrs. Janny Shanahan.
Mrs. Janny Shanahan's spot on. I just got to solve that puzzle in the middle there.
Ralphie, I was thinking of the Christmas Story. LOL, that's from Lisa.
Yeah, I was
That's part of my boyish charm, I think.
And now you got the full head of hair, so you really can do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Healthcare Evolution. Thank you, Logan Taylor.
Boyish charm overload.
Boy, there's a lot of Ralphie Christmas stories coming in. You're saying Ralphie from
Sopranos,
Are
Joe
you
Pantoliano.
Sure? I'm surprised to hear that. I've never looked at you and thought Joe Pantaleone.
I've heard it from...
Was he also Guido the Killer Pimp in Risky Business?
Yeah, he's in Midnight Run.
With Charles Grodin.
Yeah, and I think also in The Fugitive. Yeah, that sounds right. No, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen A Christmas Story. I know of it. You lick the pole, Red Ryder.
Clip that off. Snag it.
Yeah.
I won't be here on Friday, but hopefully VIP Auto Accessories gets their money's worth, and that's in the drops of the week. VIP Auto Accessories at Tommy Sabulka and at Brian Gregg. And that's where I got my windows tinted. And I recommend it in a major way. A lot of people have things that they need for their cars or the fleet of vehicles for their businesses. And then what they'll do, because they don't know about VIP Auto Accessories, you'll take it to 4 or 5 different places. Don't need to do that. Don't need to do that at all. As a matter of fact, you can get it all done at VIP Auto Accessories, which has been in business since 1979, just like Brown and Crouppen in St. Louis. They have 60-plus employees, allowing for quicker turnaround times. Commercial upfits, graphic solutions, hail repair and touch-up, and aftermarket accessories. They do it all. And window tinting is a lifetime warranty, and window tints are big in the summer. That's why we just got it done a few weeks ago. Keeps your kids cool in the car. Hail repair is also new and big at this time of year. So go to them with an ID, and VIP Auto Accessories will make it work and get it done the right way. For all your commercial vehicle upfit needs, ask for Tommy Sabulka. And for all your aftermarket vehicle accessories needs, ask for Brian Grigg. And tell them that TMA sent you. VIP Auto Accessories.com. Got the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up next. This is TMA 101 ESPN. If you haven't checked it out yet, I really recommend 5 Iron Golf in Clayton. It's indoor golf done right. High-tech simulators, amazing food and drinks, and a fun golf atmosphere, rain or shine. It's on Forsyth in Clayton. Happy hour hits different at 5 Iron Golf. Grab your friends, play world-famous courses indoors, and enjoy craft cocktails, beers, and bites in high-energy atmosphere. Happy hour specials are available from 3 to 6 and include $5 drafts, domestic cans, and shots. I love going there with my family. I also just love practicing. You got the TrackMan simulators in there, so it is a perfect place to go if you just want to practice or want to hang out with friends and family. It's 5 Iron Golf. It's in Clayton, 8015 Forsyth Boulevard, online at 5irongolf.com. They got a June special. Women play free all day, every Wednesday in June, and visit from 5 to 8 p.m. and receive a free glass of Prosecco and swing tips. That's 5irongolf.com. Check them out. You will love it. 5 Iron Golf in Clayton on Forsyth.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Cardinals, Brewers today, 12:40 p.m. first pitch. Dustin May on the mound for the Redbirds. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. You'll be saying, I love my windows.
This is the jam. Doug, you like this one?
No. Who
Sounds like in your intro you like it. You're
who
like,
told
okay.
this woman she gets to sing?
It's a gentleman.
I rest my case.
Which is weird because he has a very kind of monotone speaking voice, but as a singer, he has wide range.
Yeah, that's quite a wide range there.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter is 40, has nearly 3,000 selfies with athletes now.
3,000.
Blues, LPGA players, broadcasters, etc. Lifetime of memories. Went to Jupiter 20 straight years. Adult collectors ruined many opportunities for younger families. It's Coach from Kirkwood.
I can see how that would be a fun collection. So you get a picture with.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. It just seems like it'd be much more meaningful than a name written on a piece of paper.
Agreed.
Doug, that was Donald Glover.
Yeah.
The Closeted Beatnik.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad.
I love that song.
That's kind
You
of
love
a jam.
that song?
Yeah,
What
that
about
whole
This Is
album.
America.
Yeah, not as much. That
Interesting. What about the video?
It was well done for the time, you know.
The time being 4 years ago?
No, that was 2018, maybe.
That was 2018?
I don't know the years.
I'm going to take the over and feel great about it.
No, This Is America's 2018. I'm almost positive.
Wow.
This Is America.
Remember, I lost a lot of money on the golf course over the weekend, and I'm trying to find a way to get healthy here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
released May 6, 2018.
No way. Well, you could have gotten me there. You could have got me real nice like.
COVID really
You could have got me
warped perception.
real nice like.
COVID warped perception and all that stuff. Awaken My Love, that song that Redbone is on the album Awaken My Love is really, really good.
He's not singing. It's falsetto, dummy. It's from the 314.
I mean, that's
rough.
a type of singing, though. No?
It's rough. That's rough. See where music has fallen when that's considered a great song.
It's something I enjoy. I don't necessarily
Okay.
think that there is it's a very subjective art form.
Well, sure.
Tim, you're not here on Friday? Well, then half the viewership won't be here either. That's from the Cronky Hater. Doug, I'll be off tomorrow and Friday.
Okay.
Back on Monday, and let's go get him on Monday. Martin will be back tomorrow and Friday.
All right. I'm going to the lake, no doubt.
I am going to.
Yeah.
Asked you guys to keep that.
Oh,
private.
sorry. Well, we didn't say which lake.
Because I want people to continue to understand I'm a meat and potatoes guy.
All right.
No, it's you're heading to the Hamptons.
You're probably
It's
just
gonna
going
be
to a small pond.
pool pond be good for you.
Chevy Chase, Bill Murray.
Yeah. Famously did not get along.
They didn't. Did Chevy Chase get along with anybody? Or
Great question.
Bill Murray, too.
Yeah, both
kinda-
Banty Roosters.
Yeah.
Two fireballs there.
Doug, it's time for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling Game of the Day. Hi. Building a merch line around a radio show with a graffiti arch hoodie designed from Mizzou football game days and a 3 letters, 3 hours of fun tagline is a warmly loyal community play. And it made me wonder whether listeners are being nudged toward the shop during the show itself or any post-episode follow-up, because that in-show moment of brand warmth is typically when merch intent peaks, and then it quietly disappears. You probably get a ton of emails like this. I'll try to make this one slightly less painful.
Well, it is painful so far.
Can't tell if it's real or not. Is this like Dirty Dan the Garbage Man?
Yeah, I'd keep peeling away at this orange and see what comes out.
Most e-com stores hit a point where keeping up with everything starts getting in the way of everything else. Missed opportunities, support messages, fulfillment errors, ad data.
Okay, that's enough. Who was it, Tim?
Manga.
Manga? Umaga suspended a period of 2 days' time.
Just the bluest of feet.
Now,
His name is going to the appliance discounter suspension log queue.
I'm debating whether I should pull the veil back here at all. Every once in a while, we get like automated emails that come through. I think this may be one of those mail listing emails.
Do they know that there's some on the line if they keep sending in that kind of heat?
Why would an automated? How could that possibly happen?
Well, we get a bunch of stuff. Then that email account's been around for 15 years probably.
Umaga went on to say, that's where I come in. I handle the back-end work, support, fulfillment, ad tracking, the repetitive stuff, so you can focus on growing. The first 4 hours are on me, so you can actually see what that feels like.
Nice value.
What is he talking
These are
about?
the meetings I'm talking about.
He's trying to sell himself.
These are the meetings I'm trying to reference.
Okay.
And you want to get some kind of place where you can have sit-downs with Umaga.
Mainly, I just want more pasta.
And gabagool.
Yeah, if you got it.
Hey guys, is it in Martin's contract that KG is not allowed to sit in his chair until 10 a.m.? Martin has that in his contract. He has onboarding, and he has KG can't sit in my chair until 10.
It's a cold throne
God
clause.
Almighty. And speaking of contract language, does it also say somewhere in yours that sponsors, current or former, are required to provide subsidized housing to members of the show, current or former? Boy, do you work in a wild industry. Doug, that's from the Hunchback of Vaughn Castle.
Okay. Hunchback of Vaughn Castle.
Morning, gentlemen. Hump Day. Wine Club today. Today's day of the week goes by many names, but I call it by one. Only 2 more mornings of Comrade Tim gracing the morning airwaves before a weekend of dark, quiet solace. Today, we dove into pressing issues such as Xanax popping West County ladies claiming their mutt is an emotional support dog, what Bob Gibson would have done to opposing teams if they taunted our dugout with such vigor and intensity, and most importantly, where the statue of Tim shall be built to honor his legacy, and what building on Mizzou's campus will be adorned with his name for future Tigers to revel and celebrate. I hope we all take this halfway point of the week to continue the journey and close out the mission. Bake today's bread and make some hay while the sun shines. Cheers, and God bless America. Doug, that's from Mongo.
Mongo.
You think there's a chance they could just rename Jesse Hall to Tim Hall?
No.
I just don't know if they would do that with me still having 8 credit hours out there.
Right.
Or still being alive. It may be the type of thing they're waiting as a memorial tribute.
You remember that guy to that pervert show in St. Louis? We want to name the main campus building after him. What's the deal with him?
Yeah.
He didn't graduate?
Right. And not McKernan Hall, but Tim Hall.
Yeah, Tim Hall. I want to put the Colonel on there, too. Tim and Gabe's Hall.
Nice. Yeah. People will just climb right out there. No issue with that.
We've all been there before, anxiously awaiting our Design Air Service representative to ring the doorbell. I left a message over the weekend. They returned my call at 7:50 a.m. yesterday, and Tom was at my door by 8:45. How about that? My heart was racing as I opened the door and introduced myself. I was actively listening to your program on my phone. Tom gave me a knowing nod. We both knew what was up.
Really?
I needed to impress him, so the first time he came upstairs, I was in the living room in my Hang 10 tank top, throwing around the 15s. We talked about our hopes and our dreams. He fixed my air conditioner, and we had some yoo-hoo. I don't know for sure if we will become best friends, but I know that if is out there, I mean, this is the whole reason why I let a bird fly in my window and live here, making a nest in the vents, causing the very AC issues that led me here. What's up, Tom? Some Shooter McGavin, the vice president of Jackson's Cuts of the Week celebratory crotch chop.
Shooter McGavin.
And finally, dear Dossier, tonight's highlight was not the orchids, overpriced, or the guest list, predictable, but Marjorie arriving late with an emotional support hedgehog. Yes, a hedgehog. She carried it like jewelry with opinions, tiny velvet ribbon, impeccable indifference. Half the room pretended it was charming. The other half looked one canopy away from revolt. CANAP and an E with a tilde, Doug?
No.
Jackson, I assume that's a word that you use often.
I don't know. I don't think
It's an appetizer.
All right.
Nice. French?
I believe so.
Nice.
It senses energy, Marjorie said, as if that explained why it radiated pure, concentrated disdain. Suddenly, it uncurled, hissed, and attempted to launch itself directly into the caviar platter. There was a brief but memorable standoff involving a silver tray, 3 donors, and a creature the size of a teacup behaving like it had personal grievances. The hedgehog was eventually removed from the vicinity of the food, though not before selecting a donor's silk cuff as a personal nemesis. There was talk of, quote, boundaries and protocol, and Marjorie nodded while doing absolutely nothing. I assume the cuff did not surprise. Doug, that's from the TMA Troubadour.
TMA Troubadour.
Good, but is it good as a manga's email? That's the question you're going to have to decide when we vote for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, which will come your way with the announcement at 10:55, BK and Ferrario at 11 o'clock. There you go. That's what's coming up here on 101 ESPN before the Fast Lane from 2 to 6 p.m. Martin is back tomorrow. I am gone Thursday and Friday, back on Monday. Chairman Kurt contractually can now sit in Martin's chair because we are in the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling 10 o'clock hour. It's TMA 101 ESPN. Welcome back to the program. It's called The Morning After. It's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN and on the TMA STL YouTube channel. Doug, we've got the lineups for the Cardinals and the Brewers. Hello again, everybody.
Hello.
What you would expect, I gather. Weatherholt at second, Herrera, DH, Burleson first, Walker in right, Gorman at third, Wynn at short, Torres in left, Pages at catcher, Victor Scott in center, D. May on the mound, and will D. May be throwing it into the ribs of the Brewers? They are going to start Chad Patrick today, so he will get the start for today's Busman's special in Milwaukee.
All right. I think it's a pretty important game for this early in the season.
I agree with you. I was thinking that before the show today.
Yeah, you don't want to get swept by Milwaukee and fall 4.5 back already and leave with that taste in your mouth that you just got stomped by the team you're trying to catch.
Let's get some momentum going into the weekend. Huge series. Downtown will be buzzing. Let's go get one today, Papers.
Weather's going to be good this weekend, right?
Pony, Pony. You ain't got no alibi. It's a pony. Say what? It's a pony. Say what?
I do like that retractable roof in Milwaukee, though.
They had it open last night.
I know. That's fine. When the weather's great, by all means, open it up. Blah.
Tim, if you're leaving, what the hell am I supposed to do for 2 days? That's from Dirty Dan the Garbage Man. Jackson says he has blue feet.
I hope he continues to engage with the program, even if you're not on it. Because I like Dirty Dan the Garbage Man.
I had to walk home in bunting after getting my bin cleaned by the dockhand in Harbor Springs again. Oh, well, great Memorial Day weekend. That's from the self-made stay-at-home Ledoux mom. She was in bunting?
What would that mean? What
So
got cleaned?
I guess she lost her clothes, and she found some bunting to wrap herself up in Harbor Springs.
Oh, so it looked like the World Series walking down the street. Lick my...
Damn.
Lick my hoop? I didn't understand
separate
that.
Trevor.
Wait, Tim isn't going to be here the rest of the week? What's the point in even get out of bed now?
Oh.
Some Tim's offshore bookie.
Well, you don't have to get out of bed to listen to the radio.
I'm out if Tim's gone, unless Doug takes his tarp off for TMA and ATMA. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Well, who says I won't?
And he also has sent in a picture of his view from his, looks like a resort. Doug, is that in Amelia Island? And he says, read my text. So he wants us to
Don't tell us to read your text. Stop it. We'll read it if we want to read it. And don't do it in all capital letters. Read my text. Stop it.
Earlier in the program, you heard Mike Francesa. He's not happy that the Mets played dress up in the dugout when they're in the midst of being 11 games under 500. He also is confused, and understandably so, while trailing in the 8th inning in a first and second situation that their new call-up bunted with 2 outs. It's not limited to Mike Francesa. Keith Hernandez and Gary Cohen went off in their broadcast last night. I enjoyed this. I got to tell you, take a listen to this. Keith Hernandez and Gary Cohen on the SNY broadcast on the Mets and the lack of accountability.
A thing that you don't. I don't understand it. That really tells me that coaches really don't have as much influence as the players as they think they have, because someone should rip someone at some point, but they don't, because they don't want to upset anyone. You have to back up bases every single time.
You don't think that'll be addressed after the game at all?
It might be, but not addressed the way it should be addressed.
Not
because if it was addressed, Gary, it wouldn't happen. It happens every game. We just don't point it out.
Not backing up the bases.
Okay. That's a problem. It's an issue. The one thing you can do, even if you're not hitting, you can always hustle.
Right.
You can always give maximum effort. There's never an excuse for that. If you're lucky enough to be a professional athlete and lucky enough to be making that kind of money, if you've beaten the odds, every kid grows up wanting to be exactly where you are, and you still can't hustle, then that's a real problem.
I like when they're on the broadcast and going down that road. That's ballsy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'll tell you this. I don't know if there's more juice in a broadcast booth, and by that I mean credibility. And also guys who are kind of like, we're good. Right. And then Hernandez, Cohen, and Ron Darling. That's a tandem, Doug.
About as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I like John Kruk a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wouldn't pull punches.
He's got a little Barkley in him where it's like, you fire me, I'll be just fine.
Yeah. Well, that's why the best interviews with athletes are toward the ends of their careers.
Right.
Going back on this show, Edmonds and Kachuk in the mid to late aughts. They were fine. You don't like it? Okay, what are you going to do? Fire me?
Right.
Fine. Sitting on however much money, I'm good. Whatever. Say whatever. And understandably, when guys are just starting out, they're usually not popping off unless they decide to crotch thrust Doug from the pitching mound after a strikeout in the 8th inning.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you guys need a fill-in for Tim tomorrow, I've been called the Nicaraguan Tim McKernan in certain circles, just taller, darker, and poorer. Doug, that's from the Heiser House Hooligan.
Okay.
He's a Nicaraguan native.
Is he
big in
really?
Nicaragua? I didn't know that.
I wouldn't think so.
I had someone tell my parents over the weekend that they love listening to the show in Vietnam.
Why?
They're from St. Louis.
This is Saigon?
Ho Chi Minh City.
Huh.
Yeah, that they love listening to the program, and they listen in Vietnam.
This is a St. Louisan who moved over there?
Mm-hmm.
To do what?
Work.
We have jobs here. What are they doing in Vietnam?
I don't know. I just know they live in Vietnam, and they listen to the program.
Okay.
And I say thank you to them.
Yeah, thank you for listening. I would just like the backstory on that. How someone...
Well, if that person wants to call in, I don't know what the international rates are on that.
Okay.
Do we take a collect call? I don't know. But they're more than welcome to.
Okay.
I'm not seeing Nicaragua on our...
Your mic wasn't on. That's my fault.
Nicaragua's not on our list, Doug.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody from Managua?
Mm-mm.
Well, this person might be from, as, heritage from Nicaragua, but lives in America. This person I'm talking about is currently living in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
And is not interested in filling in while I'm out.
Unlikely. I don't know what the time change would be there.
Mm-hmm.
But be interesting.
I'd recommend having James Carlton, and every time he comes in, he brings the heat. He's always got a couple topics for us to, Doug, kick around the topics with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800. Or you can go online at carltoninsurance.net. That's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, who is saving people money like he never has before in the 18 years he's been in the industry. And that is because automotive rates have been dropping, and he is able to save people money. So if you're sitting there going, I've got a guy and I'm happy with him, well, that's fine, and I understand that. But a phone call that could save you thousands of dollars like it did for Jamie Rivers, why not make it? 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance has cost a leg and an arm, call James Carlton State Farm. The program's called The Morning After. It's presented by Brown & Crouppen on 101 ESPN. This show is brought to you in part by FanDuel. This is your reminder to check in daily, because every day during the NBA playoffs, FanDuel is serving up a happy hour. We're talking special drops you won't want to miss, from profit boosts to bonus bets and more. Check for a new reward every single day of the NBA playoffs, and don't miss your shot to get a little extra out of the action. Doug, you have a play.
Well, I like to keep it local. Tim. So I'm going to stick with the Cardinals at Milwaukee. I'm going to say the over-under is 8.5. I'm going to say go under that. The Cardinals haven't been hitting much.
You're going getaway day, huh?
Yeah, getaway days, usually low-scoring games. I'm going to say go under 8.5 Cardinals Brewers.
There it is. Doug's official play is in for today's Busman special. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. Must be 21 or older, present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Doug, you get to do the Lifetime Roofing lead every day at 7 o'clock. You chose the Cardinals, you chose it over the Spurs and Thunder, and you chose it over VJ Kieh, just sweeping the Avalanche right out of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Man, I would have lost money. I would have lost money on that. I would have lost money on This Is America being 2018. So I'm going to give you a choice here.
Okay.
At 10:28.
All right.
Morning After. Because Jackson sends over these links, and there are a few that tickle my fancy, but you have the best judgment. Georgia's Kirby Smart says he'd support the SEC breakaway to play by our own rules. That's in a story from The Athletic. We have downtown St. Louis market to hide speakeasy behind ATM.
That sounds interesting.
And Gen Z is taking adult gap years to recover from burnout instead of waiting around for retirement.
Oh, I can't stand the weakness there. Let's go for the second story.
Downtown St. Louis market to hide speakeasy behind ATM. All right. Color me intrigued by the headline. Here we go, Doug. A new market in speakeasy is coming to downtown St. Louis. Dorsa Market is expected to open at 1007 Washington Avenue in July. In addition to produce, wine and spirits, snacks, and locally made goods, the market will have small hardware and pet sections, a business center, and a florist.
A florist.
Its on-site kitchen is slated to offer hand-tossed pizzas. Ooh. The market's owned by Corey James, the owner of Bella's Coffee Cafe at 1021 Washington Avenue and Buddy's Wine Bar and Bistro at 1001 Washington Avenue. Both of James' other storefronts neighbor the market. Dorsa Market will also have a speakeasy that can be accessed through an ATM in the market space.
Through an ATM?
Yeah, this might be only for me to get in. The speakeasy, named At the Moment, will be open to the public on Friday and Saturday evenings. It will also be available for private events and open to those in the Speakeasy's invitation-only members club. There'll be weekly mixers for members, and those are scheduled to be held on Thursdays. So mixers.
Okay.
When's the last time you went to a mixer?
Probably college.
What about sock hop?
Fraternity, sorority mixers.
Yeah, sure. See what the word was with the tri-delts.
Yeah. If you could get the tri-delts, because that was like top of the line.
All right.
Yeah.
Jackson, have you been to a speakeasy?
Yes, I have.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas it's like kind of like a hidden bar. I mean, it's like everyone knows one's there, but you go to it. There's a place in Central West End that's not really a speakeasy, but kind of has that vibe. It's called Maryland House.
No.
It's a cool spot.
To make a bar a speakeasy requires what, a membership?
No, it's more so like
passwords.
Yes, like the clandestine nature of its existence, really.
So why would this one have to go through an ATM?
Well, I think that's like their like hidden door trick is like punching the right number to the ATM and the door opens.
Oh, you're not typing in a code or something to the ATM. You're actually opening a door that looks like an ATM.
I don't know the full story, but yes, that's what I would assume.
Okay,
which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea.
I support anyone trying their best to make St. Louis better.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, Doug's absolutely bewildered by this speakeasy story. Let's move on to the woke Gen Z losers needing time off from, quote, life story. Thanks. That's big tough.
I need time off from life.
Is that what it is, Jackson?
Gosh,
time off from life? Doug's going to lose his mind.
And Gen Z would be about how old now?
So I'm Gen Z, so I'd be on, I guess, the older end of Gen Z.
Oh.
So I think you're talking like 96 through 2005.
So by all means, people in their 20s need to take a step back, sit back a little bit, take a break from life, because they've been at it 4 or 5 years now.
I don't know what to say.
Gen Zers are now taking adult gap years to address their burnout from hustle culture.
Oh, God, I can't take it. I simply cannot.
An adult gap year is essentially a mini retirement that allows young adults a break from work.
And mommy and daddy are going to pay for this break, no doubt.
Much like a teen might take a year or two off from school before college or further education, an adult worker might take a gap year off from hustling in their career. The allure of an adult gap year is the freedom and mental break that it offers. Many people seeking time off work are burned out, stressed beyond belief, and living in survival mode. Some don't feel confident in their career trajectory, craving a fresh start or new perspective, while others simply want to travel and enjoy life.
How is this different than every other generation that came before them? They're stressed. They got to hustle in their 20s to make it. They can't just sit back. They got to really work it. How is that different than what every other generation before them has gone through? It isn't.
I think it's a fair question.
In fact, it's easier now probably than it's ever been before.
To what?
Easier.
To do what?
Life in general is easier.
Yeah, I would say we have some comforts. I would say some, like, when you're talking about, like, people my age trying to purchase a home, I would say that's much more difficult. But in terms of the comforts that you were used to with technology and automation of stuff, yes, would agree in that sense.
But still needs some time away after 5 rugged years in the workforce.
I think every good 23-year-old needs a sabbatical.
I think they do, yeah.
I mean, if you have the money to do it, if you have the money, if you have money enough to take 8 months off work and be totally cool,
yeah,
do what you want.
Sure.
This is why China's probably winning. My God, have mercy on our souls. That's from Carlos Spicy.
Our country's doomed. Doomed.
Doug, there is more. This is how you can take your adult gap year. Like with most opportunities in life, there is a layer of privilege that makes taking an adult gap year possible.
That I could see.
However, A.J. Schneider, financial strategist and founder of Beyond the Green Coaching, I've seen Behind the Green Door. This is Beyond the Green Coaching. Told the Post that he believes anyone with the proper planning and savings can take their adult gap year.
Yes, anyone with savings can take it.
Right, it's like the idea of anyone with money can do what they want. Yeah, no doubt.
That's basically what this is saying.
Quote, getting your finances in order is so you can take huge leaps of faith in your life. It is not only so you can retire, buy a home, and make money in your sleep. It's so you can say, I am unhappy and I am safe to leave, she told the outlet. Every dollar you save is going to fund you in the future. Get excited about what you'll be able to do with that money versus feeling like your instant needs are more important. So, Doug, if you are interested in an adult gap year.
I feel like this is geared toward former professional athletes who made a quick $80 million and now want a year off before they get back into the workforce. It's certainly not for the guy hitting it real hard, making 45 large. I mean, who can possibly save enough to take a full year off unless mom and dad are going to take care of you? Which is okay, I guess, if mom and dad want to do it.
The boomers are sucking up all the air, and they need to be sent to a remote island with a finite amount of resources and let them end up eating one another in a fight for survival. That's from the Dogtown Astroman. He's not happy with the criticism of the gap year.
Plowhawk kind of pitched something similar to that. I don't know if there was a War of the Flies element
I think
to
he
it.
wanted everybody over 70 dead.
Well, I think he said move to an island, and then they'll figure it out from there.
Finite resources.
Gen Z has the most support animals. My father didn't get a gap year. He got a rifle and a plane ticket to Vietnam when he was 20. Shut up, you twits. And I'm talking to you, papers. That's from the Warson Woods Wag.
What the hell have I done? I'm not taking any adult gap years.
Now, he was mad that you take your cat to Bricktops?
I don't even have an animal.
What about Kitty Bates?
That's a cat. Thank you, Chairman. That's a hypothetical.
But you would take the cat if you had one.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't own a cat.
Work harder! Nobody cares! And then it gets graphic with profanity. That's from Mr. 63011.
Yeah.
I think my generation was about the first one that really didn't have to do a darn thing. Born in the late 50s, didn't have to fight a battle, fight a war. The economy's always been pretty good.
And still in charge. Your generation is still...
The boomers are still in charge.
Yeah, still in charge.
Yeah. But basically, I haven't had to do anything hard my whole life, really. And a lot of people in the same generation are that way. And meanwhile, the stock market has gone gangbusters.
Right.
So a lot of them will be retiring very comfortably.
Right.
So life has been pretty darn easy.
A couple sports Sundays where you're really up against it.
Yeah, there's a few of those.
A couple of times I didn't just stretch.
And yet I still didn't need a year off to get over it.
What do you think your parents would have said if you would have came home one day and said, I think I'm going to take a year off and kind of explore myself?
After your father had fought in World War II.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lived through the Depression, both of them. I'm sure they would have said, well, if you have the money, great. But where's it? We're not giving you anything.
Right.
It's fun listening to Doug self-combust on the air. That's from the Fluffernutters fan page moderator. So let me get this straight. Work till you're 80 so that you can have an adult gap year and play on your cell phone and stare at Facebook? That's from Grady.
What was his point there? Take the gap year young as opposed to when you retire?
I get that for like in between high school and college, because I'll contend that I don't think anyone is really, like most people at least, aren't in the best spot to decide what they want to do for the rest of their life when they're 18, just coming out of high school. So if you take that gap year and you kind of explore what you want to do with your future, I think that makes a lot of sense. But the idea of like, yeah, I'm 27 or 28 like I am now, and it's like I'm just going to take a year-long sabbatical. As much as fun as that would be, I just simply cannot afford to do that.
I don't think you should take a gap year out of high school just to screw around.
No.
Your brain is still so powerful at that point.
Sure.
It's definitely the time to learn.
You could do something constructive with that time.
Yeah, I think it would make sense if you had to put in like a year of service to the country somehow, some way, maybe not necessarily the military, but just in civil service to the country.
Just join the workforce.
Imagine the workforce we would have if we had millions of people working, putting in their year. They do it in some countries. I think Israel does it, something like that.
Correct.
Where you have to put in a year or two of service to the country. And then you kind of get over your wild oats period. And then by the time you've done that, maybe when you go to college, you'd be more likely to really hit it harder academically rather than just partying for 4 years.
Doug, if you're not driving a Lambo by 24, you're a loser. Hashtag rise and grind. That's from the TMA Remote Lamp, and those are the podcasts that Jackson listens to where guys yell at you and they work out a lot?
No hair on the sides and back of their head, aggressive front, top of their head, and they're just screaming at you that if you're not up at 3:30 in the morning driving a Lamborghini, you are screwed. And the only thing that's keeping you from that is getting a $6 coffee at Starbucks. If you didn't do that, you'd be driving big whips.
God, saved me a lot of time.
Yeah.
What's a Lamborghini cost these days?
Probably about 400 smackers.
Yeah, but think about the return.
Yeah. You can crash it outside of an arena in Charlotte.
2 years into service after high school, you soft cows. That's from Pele Blanco.
Yeah, just imagine what we could get done in the country if we had all those young people out there working, doing something in service to the nation.
What's wrong with our generation, and think Jackson will agree, is that we constantly talk about anxiety and depression, and spending all day feeling bad for ourselves just makes you feel worse. Become an alcoholic, smoke weed, gamble on sports, and just grow up, I don't think. That's from Illini Lance.
I've met Illini Lance and I like him. I think that talking about him and destigmatizing people who are going through tough times in all seriousness is much better than the alternative of people harming themselves. I would much rather be viewed as soft and talk about anxiety than lose people who you're close with. And I think if you've been affected by that, by someone you've lost who's been in a bad place and didn't talk about it, you would think differently.
Tell you what else is a tough time is when your garage door doesn't work. That's where Schaefer Door comes in. You might be down in the dumps because the door won't go up, won't go down. You call Schaefer Door, and Jason Gosrell will get right out there and get you taken care of. That's what they do. They've got multiple family members working with them. That's got to be difficult unless things are going very smoothly, and they go smoothly with Schaefer Door. They service all kinds of doors for service and do new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and they are versatile. And you know what else they have if life has really got hold it together. Hold it together. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Pull it together, boy. Okay. They have that special Monday morning standby service.
It's over. Jackson, it's over. The ship sailed.
Yeah, it's Make Good City.
Make Good City.
If your door breaks over the weekend and you're really down and you need another year off in life, Schaefer Door.
It's over.
Schaefer Door will say, no, I can get through it. I don't need a year off. All we got to do is fix a garage door and I'm fine. That's what Schaefer Door saves lives. But sometimes it's just a screw or a nut or a bolt, something like that. And now you're going, oh, good. I was going to need so much time away. But Schaefer Door came and they saved us. They saved us. Here's the website for your salvation, SchaeferDoor.com. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner, and they can be a life partner for you, too.
Look at that.
Who needs therapy?
So you're telling me if I'm on SSRIs, I just call Schaefer?
I would. Yeah. I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
Not only will they get you through mentally, your garage door will work better as well.
Yeah. Talking about a strut will just get you through life's toughest hills.
Because that'll break a man if a strut goes bad.
I've had a garage door issue before.
And you don't want to continue.
Yeah. No, trust me, I would have done anything to.
Times are tough for this current generation.
So you would understand if your son called you and said, I'm going to take a year off because the garage door won't open.
I can't get out.
They're stuck.
Can't get out of the door. Can't go to work. I'm just going to sit here for a year. That's when you call Schaefer Door.
Yeah.
They'll get you to take care. Might only take like 5 minutes. And then you're free.
Doug Gooey just sent in a text. It says, the show bad work at Ted Drew's. That's from Gooey.
Now, what does that mean?
There's no punctuation. There's no capitalization. The show bad work at Ted Drew's.
There's maybe 3 or 4 words missing in that sentence. But I think that I'm just going to take it as don't take an adult gap year work at Ted Drew's. Which is
a bad idea.
Hell of an idea.
That was a place to work in my neighborhood growing up because they put money toward college education.
For sure.
How about that?
The orders, you can tell them an ice cream order with this, that, and the other thing in it. They won't write it down. 15 seconds later, it's here you go.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. You're moving that line.
And the person who's taking your order isn't making the ice cream, so I don't know how it relays back. It's impressive.
I'd have a hard time not eating all the time if I worked at Ted Drew's. Like a scoopful here. Oh, boy, that looks good. Let me try that.
Chocolate chip concrete, Oreo concrete.
It would take some real
Cardinal
discipline.
sin.
I'll get chocolate malted from there every once in a while.
I'm not familiar with that.
That's a milkshake.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Color me curious.
Malt powder.
You're welcome to text in 314-399-9646. Talk it over in the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. We'll have the winner of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming up. Then we got After the Morning After 11 o'clock on the YouTube channel. And BK and Ferrario here at 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Fast Lane from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And coming up, we will have the Canadiens versus the Hurricanes. Game 4, pregame. 6:30 p.m. puck drop, 7 p.m. That's your day on 101 ESPN. This is The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen from the Stiefel Studios.
Hey, Battlehawk fans. Battlehawk football playoff time, and our friends over at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken wants you to be a part of the run. That's where their new Battlehawks box will get you 4 of their famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges, and on top of that, you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. With this deal, you can get game day ready with the Battlehawks box for just $9.99 at any St. Louis area Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken location. Again, you get 4 of their famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges, plus you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. Just $9.99. You can get it at any St. Louis area Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken location. You can get it in-store or by ordering online on Lee's new mobile app, where you can also earn points for free food and discounts. That's the Battlehawks partnering with our friends over at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. This is Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Got Canadiens and Hurricanes tonight. Game 4, pregame at 6:30, puck drop at 7 right here on 101 ESPN. That was our Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Doug, I mean, we're a win away from seeing the Thunder and Knicks do battle. Would you rather see that, or would you rather see the rematch from 1999?
No, I'm fine with Thunder and Knicks. I think those are probably the two best teams right now.
Does that get the highest ratings, Jackson? We're not.
No, I think the Spurs.
About that?
No, I think the Spurs.
Because of Wemby.
Wemby, you get the international, and he's just, he's the it player right now.
Is it going 7?
Yes, I think it goes 7. I don't think the Spurs will go down with a whimper.
Well, the Knicks are just waiting. And, Doug, we got coverage from the Garden where an MSG reporter was covering the celebration.
Bill! Look behind me! See behind me! For the first time since 1999! It's a goal! New York goal! It's pandemonium! It's euphoria! It's nothing but New York joy! Oh, what a time to be in New York City! Bill! Back to you!
That was a reporter?
Yeah, he's cheering for Bill.
Bill!
And the game wasn't even close, right?
No, sir.
And he was still that excited when it was over. And who's Bill?
I guess whoever was in studio.
Well, this was like a local news
It
reporter?
was MSG.
Oh.
MSG, it's confusing because Madison Square Garden.
Who is Bill?
Who the hell is Bill?
But MSG is also the network.
Right.
As a broadcast.
Okay.
But they were doing it live from the Garden, where there was a watch party because the game was in Believe Land.
Believe Land.
Bill!
I don't know who Bill was. It seemed maybe a little over-emotional there for a report from the sideline, but he was having a good time. It just seems like if the game's not close, you would have known a long time ago that you're going to win, and so maybe that would tamper the enthusiasm just a wee bit.
You're underestimating Knicks fans.
And I don't know this Bill. Maybe Bill insists on reports being done just that way.
Yes, Don.
Would it be a bigger deal? And I realize in the United States, bigger deal if the Knicks win. Goes without question. Bigger deal in sports, factoring in North America, if L'Habitant wins or if the Knicks win. I'm talking about L'Habitant winning the Chalice or the Knicks winning the Larry O'Brien.
Knicks.
You didn't even hesitate. Jackson feels good. Jackson feels good. He knows he won't go it alone.
I didn't want to be the one to say it. But to me, it's not close.
I think Canadians have won more cups than any other team in hockey.
But no Canadian team has won since they did it. And that was against Barry Melrose's mullet in 99?
I forget what that year was.
Yeah. Well, the Knicks drought is 20 years longer. And basketball, both internationally and domestically, is more.
Don't you dare.
That's facts can sometimes hurt, but is more popular. The Knicks are, if not the, one of the most popular teams in the NBA, one of the most popular teams in American sports. Them breaking the 53-year-long championship drought, I think, would be about as big as a championship can get in American sports since the Cubs won. Once the Cubs won in 2016, the Knicks were next. We went Red Sox, then Cubs, now Knicks. Now I think the Mets would be next if the Knicks are to. Toronto probably. Toronto at the Cubs.
I don't know. I don't know on that. But I feel like the city of Cleveland, I know they got their NBA championship a decade ago, but with the Browns and the Guardians, but it's a smaller city. New York is, Doug, is it the Rome of 21st century global economy?
Oh, wow. I guess it could be.
So in that sense, it's going to overshadow Cleveland's torture. Yep. But maybe that was mitigated by Braun, and that's when he blocked that shot?
Oh, yeah. Man. Andre Iguodala, Springfield, Illinois. Goes up for what he thinks is just a wide open layup. Here comes the king.
Oh, yeah.
Knicks suck. Keeping the cup in America is what matter. Why do you hate America?
Talking about an American sport played by an American team with American stars. The hell are you talking about?
Oh, easy.
Jackson obviously went to Mentality. You can go to Mentality at lowtusa.com. They're not a macho low-T bro clinic. They're human-centered, and their mission is to figure out what's really going on in your body and your brain. Mentality starts by listening. They'll run real labs and explain your results in plain English, then build a personalized science-backed plan using hormone therapy and FDA-approved peptide treatments to help get your brain and body back on track. So stop telling yourself and everyone around you that you're fine right now. All new patient labs will be covered in your treatment plan, and that's a savings of $250 right out of the gate. Reclaim the old you, the younger you with Mentality. Schedule your appointment now at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com, LOWTUSA.com. Jackson, do we have a winner on this Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day?
Oh, we sure do.
Who?
Umanga.
Yeah, Umanga could become a force.
And that was spam, right?
Not confirmed. It was just my read on it.
Right.
Spam won the email
Could have
today.
been spam disguised as an entry.
That was well done. It's like Dirty Dan the Garbage Man. Blue feet or performative? Don't know.
Yeah.
Doug, you know about Kelly and Thompson, no?
I do.
That.
You know, it's still kind of hard to move with interest rates being 6% or so. A lot of people would like to move but can't because they've got this interest rate in the 2s or the 3s, but they're tired of their house. It's looking old. It's looking dated. Kelly and Thompson can step in and make you fall in love with your home again with a great remodel of your kitchen, bathroom, your basement, wine room, man cave, whatever. They work all over the house. They can redo the basement and give you a whole nother living space down there. They just do fantastic work. Don't trust me. Go to their website, KyronThompson.com. Look at some of their before and after pictures. It is just amazing what these people can do and what they have been doing since the 1950s. Kyron Thompson is a company that you can trust to be in your home. You know, when you're talking contractors, sometimes you worry about, are they going to show up? Are they going to be on time? Are they going to get the materials that we want? If you're not happy, Kyron Thompson will come back and make sure you are happy with the rehab they do. They specialize in kitchens, bath, and appliances. They got a great appliance section. They sell high-end stuff. This is where you go when you're really super serious about a remodel. You want to be done by the best in town, and that's Collier and Thompson. They are on Manchester Road in Manchester, next to Uncle Bill's Pancake House. Come home to quality online at KyronThompson.com.
Time for us to shut it down. BK and Ferrario are coming up next. We're heading down the hall, and it's, let's see, Martin off today. I'm off tomorrow and Friday. We'll all be back together and holding each other close on Monday. For Jackson Bennett Burkett, for Chairman Kurt, for the vacationing Martin Kilcoyne, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen on 101 ESPN from the Stiefel Studios.